By Arkansas, for Arkansas. This is Inside Arkansas Live.
What's up, everybody? I am doing another little test run on doing some different like streaming stuff and services and everything like that, and also trying some different settings on things. So I figured it was like it was just a test stream last time too, and I think I'm gonna just go ahead and do it again and testing some different things. So it's just kind of just random. It wasn't anything like scheduled necessarily, but I was just gonna be doing some fun stuff like this and trying to see if there's any software or anything like that we want to be diving into. And I figured I might as well get some of y'all in the chats and start getting into that as well and see how it goes and trying different things like for instance, this little chat thing that's going on there too. So but anyways, I will try to do some features and testing and all that while also talking some nonsense, but again, nothing too crazy, just a hangout little deal there too. So yeah, okay, did this last time too. So I don't wear glasses. These are just some because I look at computer screens all day. They're little like LED glasses to just kind of help make sure my vision doesn't go bad and try to keep my eyes dry and everything. So I do not wear glasses. Went to the Eye Center, Northwest Arkansas, 2020 vision. So I'm just doing it that way. But I keep forgetting about it because I wear them all day, pretty much, except when I'm on streaming and everything. So, but either way, this is, like I said, just a little case. I have like a different camera setup too. I'm trying to look at that. I think the resolution may be a little too high for the live stream type of thing too. But yeah, let's see. So just trying some things. Try to get any questions you guys have too, because it's just a hangout. I got Monday Night Football in the background. And I know everybody's like going crazy for the Ryan Silverfield stuff that happened today and getting it going on the recruiting side of stuff, which Dudley Dawson, Inside Arkansas Recruiting, is going to have a full podcast on that in the morning. So talking all about those players. And I know he's going to have some of those players on his podcast too when all that works out. So, but yeah, big day for him. Let's see. Yeah, you see all y'all's chats on here, which is dangerous. This is another little feature that I was trying out and seeing what it looks like and seeing if it makes sense to utilize it in certain ways, because I don't want to, give you guys too much feeling on this. And I got the different settings here too. So, all right, we'll see. I'll do this. I'll get to your chats too and making it happen the best I can as well. Somebody just says surprise stream. Omri's like saying, okay, so it doesn't go away. That was like my main thing I wanted to see. Omri says Inside Arkansas intro twice today. Sheesh. Yeah. Shout out to Gib. Hoggone, it says that intro song is crushing it still. It is a great intro song. Shout out to Gib, man. Shout out to Gib. Let's see. I heard you need us to shout profanities into the mic. I do not need to do that. Which is kind of another thing that's pretty cool too. I think we're getting close to utilizing like everyone talks about phone lines. I think I found a way to make it work to where it's not necessarily a phone line per se, but it is a way of your voice being heard on the live stream. So yeah, that would be a way to integrate it with a different software. It's really nerdy stuff. So we're still in the very early stages of that, trying to figure it all out. So, but yeah, camera looks crazy clear. Well, good. I don't know. It's like one of those deals. I started recording my Locked On podcast in 4K, 60 frames a second. And I don't know if I like it because, boy, it shows every blemish. Like it's like one of those things where I'm like, oh gosh, no, that's too much. Let's see. Hoggone says, how long before Silverfield was fired were these seeds laid out for these recruits we got today? Had to be a week or two. So Silverfield was hired, I assume, is what you're meaning? Because he didn't get fired. Great question. I don't think he was not into the mix until the very last minute. Like that's just my understanding. He was not in the mix until the very last minute. Or let me rephrase that. Assumptions here. This is an assumption. I believe that he had been led to believe he had the job the entire time for a while. And then when it didn't go right with Alex Golish in the very midnight hour, they gave it to Silverfield. I think he was under the impression, but I don't think he was the only coach that was under the impression he had the job. I think it was him. I think Golish did. I think that's how some of these things work. I don't know. Maybe the Kane Womack deal was also very interesting. I'm curious to see how it would look for all of that. But either way, that's my opinion on the matter. Which I'm going to be doing some of these. I need to like going through the whole process, man. I just continue to hear stuff each and every day of the process and how wild it is. See, I don't know if I like the chat on the screen, to be honest, though. It's not like really a good way of doing it. Less than just like, and the only way it means something is if you can just, because there's some chats I don't want anyone seeing, because some of y'all are really horrible in there sometimes. So, Jack says, can John Neighbors be the head coach in waiting? No. I can't even go into the Royal Center right now, man. Samuel says A+ day for Silverfield. Yeah, it was, dude. He had a great day. No lies. It was a great first day for him. Got a lot of work to do still, though, but great first day. And I talked about this in my lockdown. You'll be able to hear it in the morning, but two things can be right at once, where you can still be like cautiously optimistic and concerned, but also like give wins. Like you don't have to go all in and be like, this is the best thing ever. It's like, I don't know about all that. Let's see. Zach says, who would have thought Arkansas would have a coach before Penn State? Yeah, Penn State, man. So people were saying is like, you're going to do better than James Franklin. I don't think they upgraded assuming they got the guy from BYU. I didn't see if it was official or not. But yeah, I mean, it's whatever. I guess it's okay. Our Rogan says, be careful with that camera, John. Don't want anyone to see the imperfections in your makeup. Yeah, seriously. Between the makeup and the spray tan allegations, I don't think I'll ever be able to run from them. Listen, I'm like, it's the ultimate feeling of a confidence boost. If someone's like, you're wearing makeup when you're not, because you're like, thank you. I do have I must have a nice face. Have a nice face. Hawkon says, just don't let the rolling chats over the Shiba in you in the back. Yeah, I got to make that. There we go. Yeah, just don't let the Shiba. That was a fun fact about that over here. It's my dog Rowdy. That was painted for me by one of my ex-girlfriends. She painted that for me for a gift, and I loved it. So still keep it around. Still got her initials on it and everything. So yeah, gotta have something with Rowdy in there. Allegiant Andrew. John Neighbors, what's up? Saw you were live. Thought I'd pop on. Allegiant Andrew. What's up, man? For people that don't know, this is Andrew that helped me out with my lost luggage in Lexington, where it was recovered. If it wasn't for Allegiant Andrew, I would have never gotten all of my podcast equipment back. And so, shout out. I hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's going great. And I love the fact that it's Allegiant Andrew is your username. That's pretty awesome. Love that, man. Daniel says, I can't really see it, but I'm on a phone on Facebook. Yeah, I don't know how it looks on phone. That's the thing. I don't know how that would look on a phone. That's why I'm trying these new little features out just to see if they're worth doing, worth having. And it's the best way to do it is just do a test. And everyone knows it's a test instead of doing it on like one of our actual content sponsored things. So Ryan says, John, what do you think about the intro presser being on Thursday? Hunter Yurchek's busy with his second job all week till Thursday. WTF. I mean, I talked about it in my Locked On, so I'll give you a little tease of it. I think it is kind of weird. I don't really care for it necessarily because, like Golish and Sumrall already went today. However, if you're Arkansas, which there is 1,000% fact that they were concerned and have been concerned about the fan reaction, I think it's best if you have some of these wins happen beforehand, then you have the press conference. Like if he has another day tomorrow, like he did today with the in-state recruits, people are going to be even more excited about the press conference. Where if you had it today before any commits happened, then it'd kind of be like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's whatever. Because I think it'll be better though for everybody if he continues to build himself up and have those wins and then have the press conference if that's what they want. You could just filter out words you wouldn't want to appear, could you not? I don't know. Maybe that is an option. Maybe that's something I look into. But if that's the case, yeah, I'm definitely going to be bleeping out any cuss words or the word arky. Hate that word. And Chad Morris. Any of the stupid stuff that people say that I don't want to see and read. Let's see. What, man, y'all are just already on one. I love that I'm doing a live stream here for the testing and I already got like 1,500 people watching. I love that, though. I love that. Desiree says, are you streaming 4K face cam? Apparently everyone's talking about the camera. I'm glad. Even my buddy texted me. He says, yeah, my buddy even says, that picture really is clear AF. I don't know what you did. It's just a different camera. Because I've been recording my locked ons with a 4K 60 frames a second camera. And I've been switching it in and out, doing it with the other streams because I don't want to like mess up the thing. And I actually just forgot to do it and forgot to switch it out. So I'm glad it looks good, I think. And rather that than looks like I'm filming with a potato. That's the biggest thing. Let's see. Chad says, any release on what the NIL package promised to Silverfield is? Glad he flipped some in-state guys. Just curious what the price tag was. Here's the deal. I don't know if we'll ever know because it's something that's like we don't even know what the collective is going to really look like at this point. I think a lot of that's going to be announced here soon. And so because of that fact, from what I understand, is it's going to be higher than what it was previously with Sam Pittman, but it's not going to be to the level it needs to be. At least not yet. It could get there, but I know that the money's just not there where it needs to be. And we'll see if they can get there. And I think that was one of the reasons why you may have saw some of the things happen the way they did. So Joffrey says, Neighbors is on the grind. Love to see it. Yeah, I'm so obsessed with myself that I have to be able to make sure you all see me. That's what it is. Ryan says, you need a mod. I volunteer as tribute. Yeah, well, I trust any of you to mod. Good grief. Zach says, glad to see Dudley has positive content to report on. Felt bad for the guy after Pittman got chopped. Yeah, I know. Dudley's going to be putting in overtime here soon. I mean, it's like I felt bad too because I was like, dude, just do the best you can, man. Do the best you can. But it's good to get him kind of acclimated, and then once the craziness ends up happening, it's going to take off from there. So, yeah, it's going to happen. Let's see. Dylan says, any idea who our starting quarterback will be next year? My man, I have no clue. Zero clue. I would love it if it was, KJ Jackson, but my thing is that you got to be able to have somebody that whoever Ryan Silverfield wants. I mean, the coordinator is going to be a big thing too. Like, who's he as offensive coordinator? I mean, because somebody was asking me, he's like, hey, who do you think he targets? I'm like, I have no clue. Like, there's no way of knowing. But I will say, and I think I brought this up a few weeks ago, I had somebody in Illinois say that Barry Lunny was the name that was getting thrown around up there for a possible offensive coordinator going back to Arkansas. So, not saying that that's the thing. I'm not reporting nothing. Just saying that I was randomly brought up to my attention, and I was like, I just don't see it. Carrie says, do you really want a clear camera, John? I mean, this may come as quite a shock to people, but I'm very big on presentation, not necessarily like over the top production as much as I'd love to do it, but it's like you can, I think it's maybe the radio in me. It's like you can do all these other things, but if you sound like crap or look like crap, you could have the best takes and the opinions in the world. But if you look and sound like crap, no one's going to take you seriously. So it's like, I want to always make sure that's like, I got the best internet I can have, hardwired in, best camera, like, this microphone that's very expensive. I got all of this because like you can say that I'm stupid and say that I have horrible opinions, but one thing you can't say is that I got crappy software, hardware, and all that. So sure, I'd rather, again, I'm not saying I want 4K cameras to look in my pretty face, but let's be honest, folks. I mean, 4K is cool. If you see a video and you see it's like 4K next to it, you're like, ooh, this must be really serious. And come on. Jeez, y'all are, I'm just testing. I'm just looking at some stuff. So fire off any questions because, again, I'll just try to get to them as I'm looking at settings and looking at speeds and all that stuff. So, oh, let's see. Joffer says, no, it's all love. Can't ever hate on someone working hard and trying stuff out to bring better content. Love your boys. So I appreciate it, Joffer. Yeah. I mean, that's what my days normally consist of, is just trying to be forward thinking and trying to improve everything and make money. I mean, that's nice to make money in a business, I hear. But things are going good, though. Matthew said, thank you for live streaming this late as well. Very much appreciated. Now I have something to listen to during a workout. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know if I'm going to get you, getting those heavy sets in, AMRAPs or whatever they're called. But no, I'm glad you could join. He said, I'm just screwing around here on this stream. Says John says, Heartbroken Hawk says, John, I'll mod for y'all. My only request is I ban John Beckman. Sure. Yeah, sure. Just go ahead. There's a lot of people that I end up wanting to ban, but also people think I hate the chat. I don't hate the chat. I just don't pay attention to it because I have so many other things going on. And there are a lot of times when I look into it, sometimes I'll just see people arguing with each other about stuff that we're not even talking about. So I'm like, all right, I'll come back later. Just not even worry about it. Dakota, what's up, man? He says, what are we testing? Testing these features and new settings and streams and stuff. And also, again, I was trying to do some stuff with our Discord as well. And, just trying to give it to where everybody has options to interact with us during our live streams. That makes sense. Let's see. Omri says, you've built a strong business when you randomly go live with tests and total is 250. Yeah, just in YouTube. It's either that or just people are just loving the fact that they got coaching stuff and positive football stuff to talk about, which that was a big day, man. That was good. Building the fence, if you will, for Arkansas today and adding some of those recruits. It makes you just wonder, is it something that all they were doing is waiting for an offer to be Razorbacks? I hope that was the case. And I'm not saying that for anything negative towards, anybody else or any players or anything, or Silverfield even. But my hope, my cool little thought process was just thinking these guys were just all wanting to be Hogs. All they needed to do is see the coach and get the offer, and they became Hogs. That's my hope, because I think that's a cool story. Smelly says, hashtag all in. Yeah, that's Silverfield's thing. Somebody was mad at me, or I shouldn't say mad, but they were just really upset. They're like, can we stop with this crap about the hashtags and the words? It's like, sure. I mean, nobody cares about that stuff if you're winning. It's just like everything else. If you're winning, it's not a big deal. But if you lose, then it's cringe. Turn that damn jukebox on was great when you're going 9-4, and everybody was saying it. But as soon as that starts to lose, everything ends up being a problem. I appreciate all the chat. Again, I'm always blown away by people. How many of you join these things? I just expect to get in and out and talk a little noise and stuff, but feel bad. It's like, if this many people are in here, I better at least put on a show. Best of my ability. I'm like Michael Jordan, if somebody's up in the rafters coming to see me play, I better give it 110%. Dylan says, we got Inside Arkansas 4K before GTA 6. Can't stream on 4K right now with the services that we have. I think you can on if you go straight to YouTube, but not with StreamYard, not with what we're using. Desire says, saw very much not fake report that he contacted Kane's high school coach, but the guy was asleep. Yeah, I don't know about all that. I think that there is a really, really, really good chance that if Kane Archer is offered by Silverfield, he will be a Razorback. I have a very strong confidence in that. All he's got to do is be offered, and he will be a Razorback. J-Buck says, KJ is pretty good at finding receivers open at the right time. Very confident in the pocket, runs hard. I hope Silverfield can talk him into staying. I mean, again, if that's the quarterback he wants, I'm all for it. But I want him to have the quarterback that he wants. Be set up for him. See, Gary says, how will 105 scholarship limit affect the school high school numbers versus transfer numbers? I don't know. I've always felt like if you're going to the 105, I still feel like you should. Most teams aren't going to do that. I know it sounds good in theory, but why do you need 105 scholarship players for football? My personal opinion has always been, this is just me, but if you're going to do a little bit more NIL, why not almost treat it like NFL? You know what I'm saying? Have like 52-man rosters. The rest can be walk-ons, and then just flood that 52-man roster as best as you can. Maybe I'm the crazy one, but I just don't know anybody that's going to be like, hey, we need all 105 scholarships for football. Because that's like giving you 4 strings. Like, do you need a 4th string scholarship kicker? I don't know. I don't think it'll impact it that much. Is the Celebration press conference televised at all later this week? I assume it'll be like on SEC Network Plus or ESPN Plus at the minimum. Again, I assume. We'll see. Jay says, definitely enjoy you guys' content. Thanks for some reason. Rhett says, John, who are some names for OCDC? Again, I couldn't even begin to tell you. I'd love Mark Stoops as the DC. He's looking for work. But shout out to Kentucky. I think Will Stein's going to be a great coach. That was a good hire for them. Maybe Mark Stoops. Bobby Petrino's not going to be the offensive coordinator, so we can just go ahead and end that. But, I mean, again, I would love to sit here and give you a list. But anybody that comes out and says, these are the ones I'm thinking, you're fooling yourselves. Our Broken Hawk says, Ellis is the only one who actually hates the chat. Nah, he doesn't hate the chat. He'll just randomly hate one person in the chat for a second. Parker says, are you feeling the Hogs win Wednesday? They better. I'm going to be very pissed off if they don't win. They need to win one of these big games. And I feel like Louisville's really good. Houston's good. Texas Tech's good. I was like, you got to win your home game, though. Wouldn't that be nice to win a home game against a major opponent? Like, when was the last time you've done that? Seriously, when was the last time you won a legitimate home game against a big opponent? Like last year, you had some wins, but they weren't like anybody big that I remember. You beat Kansas in an exhibition game. I'm not counting that. Like, was it Duke? Was it Duke back in Muss's last year? Might have been. Dakota says, one day we need to see your view. Give us a tour of your setup and how many monitors you got. No one needs to see my setup. I'm having to move, everybody. Getting kicked out of my place. I say I'm getting kicked out. I'm getting, my lease is having to come to an end because my landlord is needing to move in, and because apparently there's some issues at the place I live with like structures. And apparently they probably want to like get that fixed without me living in it. So I kind of had a short timeline to move out. I think I found a place. We'll see. But if I'm off Inside Arkansas Live or something here randomly on a random day, it's probably because I'm trying to move. Like, couldn't have been worse timing for me. It's like one of the busiest times of the year, but it's fine. Not a burner says, what's up, fellas? Lots of crazy stuff going on. Yeah. That's a lot of crazy. Helku says, look at John competing with Cal time. Oh, see, I didn't even think about the show tonight. I honestly didn't even think about it. So, I'm glad you chose me over Cal. That's nice. Chico says, was yesterday a record-breaking day? 60,000+ watching. Did you ever imagine what would happen? What happened with Natty State? Would this happen? Got to be gratifying. I mean, because I'm very confident in what I do and what we do, and kind of like what my vision was for all of this, I knew it would work. But I mean, I'm just very thankful for everybody. Like, we all just try to do the best we can with the content we have and with doing something that we all love. And that's what is like the most rewarding thing. I even talked about this. I think I'm all locked on, but like one of the most rewarding things that I can get, like obviously like pay a lot of money, like all this stuff. But like the greatest thing is always just like somebody coming up to me and just saying that they enjoy my podcast. Like a complete random stranger saying, hey, I had that happen to me today. And it's like one of the most gratifying feelings. And it's not because it's like, oh, I'm loving this attention I'm getting, haha, because I'm so awesome. It's because it's like literally it's like if you sacrifice things in life, it's always sacrificing it for somebody else is the greatest thing ever. you know, and we are all very busy. Like 24 hours a day is all we have. And we all have lives. We have jobs, we have kids, we got, events, work, all this stuff. Like just so many things going on. And the fact that there are so many people that take of that precious time they have, 20, 30 minutes of my podcast or an hour and a half or whatever it is, of their day to listen to me and my nonsense is the greatest honor. Like it truly is, because that is nobody likes to give up their time for nothing. No one likes to waste time. And that's a great feeling to have. So point is like, yes, it's very gratifying. I love what we're doing. I love how we're growing, and we're not done yet. We're increasing it, and we've changed the game, I like to think, here in Arkansas and media and sports media especially. And so, yeah, I'm pretty excited, man. Pretty excited about everything, and so thankful for all of you and for Curtis and Andrew and Dudley and our interns and everything. Like it's great, man. It's great. Let's see. Oh gosh, it just had me jump down the chats. You guys got a lot of chats coming in. I appreciate it. Jason says, love your show, man. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. Not a burner says, I have tall quarterback bias. I don't want not 6'3" and under quarterback. Oh, okay. Listen, I can see both ways. Like Baker Mayfield is really good, and he's like 6 feet tall. Johnny Manziel, same thing. Kyler Murray, same thing. In college, at least. Like, it can happen. I just want a quarterback that can make good decisions. That's the biggest thing. Samuel says, not sure if Silverfield will be a good coach here or not, but he's one of the very few coaches, from hearing him talk about his vision, that I get the vibes that I'd run through a wall for him. Listen, I'm appreciative of what Silverfield has done so far. I really am. I think it's great that you have somebody that seems to get the energy and has tried to instill some new energy. So I really wish, and I hope, and this is just people going to take it as me complaining. I just really hope that the changing of the communication part of it maybe starts here. It hasn't really gotten to that point yet, because I saw they did rounds on radio shows, and then you had the hog pod and all that stuff, which is fine. But I guess it's like, if you want to be able to get the fans back in, at least in the beginning part of it, just give as much access as you possibly can. And, if it has to be behind a paywall, so be it. But, I'm really hoping that they just make Silverfield, set them up for success and make them so accessible, because that's what's going to make people relate to them. People are going to be more apt to hang out with them, want to be supporting him, like all that stuff. I think that would go a really, really long way. A really long way. So, see, Jose says, is this a record number of new coaches in the SEC? It has to be. It has to be. 6 of them, right? I don't remember another time. That Lane Kiffin stuff is wild too. Like that's so crazy. Count says, my cousin's orthodontist brother's boss's dad has a source that confirms Kane Archer commits tomorrow before the basketball game. All right. Greenwood, man, 3 degrees of separation from everybody. No, you don't have to do super chats. You really don't, but thank you. Caleb says, Bray Cook for a line coach. I know Bray's big, man, he's big in general, but he's big on Ryan Silverfield. He's been texting me about him a lot and wanting me to get on board, which I am. And I've told him, I'm like, I'm on board, man. Like I'm going to give him the support and all that, but I also am needing to see something. I think most Razorback fans just need to see something, and he's off to a good start. But, I don't know. I don't know who they're going to retain, if anybody, from the current coaching staff. I don't know who they're going to retain, if anybody, from the roster. Like that's the situation that you find yourself in. It's just crazy to think that this, like next year, the entire roster, the entire 2 deep could be completely different of people we don't even know. I mean, it legitimately could happen, which is so strange. SQS says, hey, Johnny, have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? At first, I thought you were trying to say something really like inspirational and all that, but then I just realized it's a Star Wars quote. So wait till Andrew does his little live stream at some point. You can bring that up to him. Jason says Womack for defensive coordinator. I would maybe not. I would doubt that he would go for that. My understanding is, and this is kind of messed up if this is the case. My understanding is with Kane Womack is that he wasn't even like he was in the running. I think he was legitimately feeling he had a chance. He wanted it really bad, so badly. And my understanding is they didn't even contact him to let him know he didn't get the job. I could be wrong about that. But if that's the case, that's pretty lame. And I think he deserves better than that. But there was just so much chaos on that coaching day, folks. That 24-hour period right before all the hires were made was absolute chaos. Absolute chaos. Like the Silverfield thing was just the icing on the cake of it all. It was hard to even imagine. Dylan says, John, you have a job. Yeah, can you believe that? Can you believe that? Owner and operator. Podcast host. Sheesh. Never would have guessed that in my life. Pretty cool, though. Jay Buck says, one thing for sure is that we're going to build a brand new defense from the bottom up coming next spring, or we are screwed. Worst defense personnel I've ever seen in my life from this past year's performance. Yeah. The defense, I mean, I'm fine with everybody just doing a whole new overhaul for defense, because what's the worst thing that can happen? You're the worst defense because you were this past year. So that's one of those things where it's like, hey, you don't have to worry about nothing. It's always the same. Let's see. Heartbroken Ox says, I always believed this would be a huge success. I'd already been watching you on Locked On Razorbacks, and Ellis and Curtis were my favorite parts of Biddy's show. So when you announced you were bringing them on, I was very excited. Well, yeah, I mean, thank you. I wouldn't have done it if I didn't have a team that I believed in, and people that are always, my goal in all this is always to just bring on people that are a lot more talented than me, because, you have to have an ego in this, but my ego is in myself, but I don't get threatened. Like there's other podcasts that are out there, and and I'm sure a lot of you knew about this and have heard about this. By the way, this bubble's like way too big, covering up the moneymaker here. But there's a lot of people that will have podcasts and they'll take shots. Like we've had a lot of shots taken at us for some reason from randoms, and I don't even give them the time of day, because I do not care what y'all are doing. Like I care about what we're doing. And are we doing good things? Are we expanding? Are we growing? Then we're doing something right. That's how I look at the end of the day. Never listen to comments. Never listen to replies. Read the numbers. The numbers speak for themselves. And if you're just focusing on the numbers, then you're doing something right. And stay with that energy. That's how I look at it, at least. Intern Cameron, dude, like take a day off, my man. Like this intern of ours, I swear, he works more than anybody. You think I work a lot? Intern Cameron's always, he says, Cal was cowling tonight, talking about all the presidents he has met and golfed with. No biggie. He did have a great story about golfing with Obama, though. Oh, man, I may have to go back and find the radio spot of that. I have to check that out. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. All right, let's see. No, you already read that one. Ryan says, I really love that you guys recreated the radio call-in vibes with Inside Arkansas Live. Well, that's kind of what my background is sports talk radio. It's sometimes I miss it, but I also enjoy the freedom and the creativity that we can have. And the video element I love. I know that some people may not like it because a lot of people don't like being on camera, which I get. But my thing is, like when I was doing radio, people would maybe recognize me some, but nobody ever recognizes you when it's just your voice. It's when they see your face. And I started getting more people coming up and be like, dude, you're that guy on Twitter. Like, no, that's close. I'll take it. And then when I started doing Locked On and the video element got added, that's when it kind of started being more of, people coming up to me. And, if people can see a face to the voice, it helps build that a little bit. So. William says, I enjoy Locked On and Inside Arkansas. Keep it up. Thank you. Thank you for consuming all of this. Razorback says, what are you doing on this late and alone for? Are you bored? No, I'm testing things. That's why it says testing. But yeah, I'm sure I'm bored. What else am I going to do? Have a life? Have a social life? Get out of here. Let's see some of these. Zeke said, run through a wall. Heard him talking to the team, and I wouldn't run through a wall of pillows for him. Well, I wonder how you feel about the hire. Wonder how you feel about it, man. I understand. Listen, if anybody's not sure about it, fine. But if anybody's sure about it, that's fine too. Like, let's just see how it plays out. Let's see. I'm going to reserve. Here's my thing. I'm going to be supportive and call wins. Let's see what the staff looks like fully assembled and the roster looks like fully assembled. When both those things are fully assembled, let's talk. But I just don't think that there's a reason to just go crazy and say this is the greatest thing ever when there's literally so many things that need to transpire first. So many things. G Marvel says, I feel like Hogs Plus is one of the things that killed communication. A lot of people don't want to pay extra for interviews. Yeah, I'm not like going to talk crap about like Hogs Plus because I know a lot of people that work over there, really good people. Almost all of them are good people that I know. Coach Z, Tara, like all of them do a great job. But I do agree that there is a little bit of the missing ingredient from that because whether it's right or wrong, I mean, it's their decision. But I think that just when you have that, suddenly it doesn't feel as needed to have the coaches or players or anybody out there in the public because they're like, well, if we're going to do that, let's do it with ours instead. And you pay for it. So that way we make the money, we control the content, we do all of that. I get it. I'm not having any issue with it because I understand it. It's business. But as far as the relatability deal, there may be something to that. Oh, shout out to Mark being a new member. Hey, thanks, Mark. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Let's see. I won't be on here for a long time, folks. Again, I really appreciate all of you jumping in. Over 300 people on YouTube alone. We got over 3,000 people watching right now. It's so funny. Cracks me up. I keep wanting to do. I think I decided on Sunday night I'm going to do a live stream, just almost like I remember when I was when I was doing Natty State Sports, I called it State of the Natty. That's what I always liked it, but I don't know if it has the same ring to it with Inside Arkansas. I think it's something clever, but just maybe like a weekly thing on Sunday nights, a live stream, just kind of getting everybody ready for the week and talking nonsense. Because I enjoy it, man. That's my favorite thing is interacting with people. I love the connections and talking with people and hearing different opinions and whether I agree with them or not. And even all of you, and some of you that are mean, I appreciate it. Billy Tom says, the paywall is super lame. The university is so bad at online media. The Little Rock versus Northwest Arkansas schism sucks. Well, I don't know. Like, I think the Little Rock Northwest Arkansas thing needs to really just come to an end. Like, everybody needs to get over that stuff. Like, this is not. It's been caused, and I think that there might be some reasons to believe it's been caused for like you know how they say like stereotypes exist for a reason. It's kind of like it's like the schism, as you say it, has been caused for a reason, but I don't think it's as bad as what people try to make it out to be. I just think that the War Memorial thing, when you slow bled it out, it kind of got to this. If you just would have cut it off at the very jump that you could, it may not have been so bad, but it's been rough. Now some people are just freaking out about Hunter Yurachek. Our guy Peyton from Blue Ember. What's up, Peyton? Looking forward to Wednesday. By the way, Wednesday, folks. Blue Ember Smokehouse and Rogers, 12 to 2. Inside Arkansas Live is going to be there. Says, John, did you ever get an ice cream cone last time at Blue Ember? No, and I don't remember why we didn't. I feel like there was a reason why. We're going to have to do it. We may have to just pull straws and have one of us eat it on the live stream and have to eat it all before they can talk again. You know, something stupid like that. I don't know. But we're going to have to try it. Tamara says, people I have blocked are showing up on the screen. What? You block people, Tamara? Why would you do such a thing? People are so nice in the chat. That does make sense, though, I guess, with like that. Again, we're probably not going to have the chat on there because of that reason. We want to be in control, at least of somewhat of the nonsense that gets thrown into the chat. But, yeah. Let's see. What's worse, finding out you got passed over for a job on Twitter or being a player and finding out you got traded on Twitter? Passed for a job, I would think. Traded is just part of the business. Being passed over is like an ego hit. Trust me, I think we've all been passed over for jobs. I was passed over for 3 jobs. They've always said that. Like at the Buzz, Acree, which I still love to this day, the general manager over there, Justin Acree, he didn't hire me 3 times. Then at the same time, I left them twice, so maybe it balances out. But no, I think it'd be worse for that. I think it'd be worse for that. Let's see. Samuel says, if we get Mark Stoops to become our DC, John, do you ever think that 5 years ago we would have Coach Cal and Stoops at the U of A at the same time? No. But I still think it's crazier to think that you had Coach Cal and Bobby Petrino at Arkansas at the same time, because that was the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Stupidest thing. It was fun while it lasted. Hey, joy to the world. Joy to the world. We love you. It's been a long time. UK fans still enjoying your podcast over here. Always informative and entertaining. Thank you, Joy to the World. Joy of the World was one of the nicest Kentucky fans we dealt with. She gave us a gift card to a local establishment there in Lexington on our trip, and it was so kind of her. We really appreciate that. So, well, next time Arkansas is in Lexington for a basketball game, we're definitely going to want to try to come back for sure. Let's see. Heartbroken Hawk says, intern Cameron is the damn GOAT. Yeah, intern Cameron's awesome. Someone asked me to power rank my interns. I'm like, I am not doing that. That's awful. Samuel says, John, it's a fire inside Arkansas water bottle. Oh, it's actually not an inside Arkansas water bottle. It's just a logo that I slapped a sticker on right there on my I don't even know what it's called, a mixer bottle or something. Because I got these new stickers and they actually look a lot better than our other ones that I have here. And anytime that people order one of our clothing items, I send them a free sticker to go along with it. It's a clear sticker, and that's what it's going to look like. And people are going to be like, well, where's that? I got clothing items. We're going to be having a new thing coming out. I'm really excited. Maybe give you a little tease here. It's nothing too spectacular, but it is an Inside Arkansas shirt. But it's called The Right Shade of Red, if you know what I mean. So it's going to be one of those, but it's going to have our logo on it. So I'll keep you guys updated on it if you guys want to end up having it. But either way, that's kind of the gift, is if you order a shirt from us, I write you a note and send a sticker in there and hook it up. So you can put that on yours. Hey, it's up. Kingsley says, what's going to be the 100K celebration? 100K of what? I'm sorry. The subscribers? We got a ways to go if that's the case. Guess I would need more specifics. But I'm sure the celebration will be one of us bragging about it. That's what we're big braggers over here. It's bragging camp. But yeah, I guess again, I have to know more about it. Dave Neal says, followed you out of B-ball game last year. Didn't want to bug you. Now after following you daily, wish I did bug you. Enjoy the work you do. Thanks, Dave. Listen, if you will never bug me at all if you just say hi. I'd rather you do that than the stuff that some people do, like taking a picture of me when I don't know it and then posting it. Don't do that. Don't do that. But yes, just say hi. I always enjoy saying and talking to people, because you got to remember, I just sit here in front of a camera and a microphone by myself in my place. I don't get much human interaction, so I always enjoy that. But I appreciate it, man. Samuel says, how's Rowdy doing? How old is he? Rowdy's doing good. I think he's getting old, man. He's 8 years old, just turned 8. And he's getting some gray in his beard. So, he's getting up there in years. Still a little jerk sometimes, but yeah. What's up, Code? What's up, Jordan? Jordan's one of the few people that I follow on Twitter that I don't remember why I follow him on Twitter. No offense, Jordan. I'm sure it was a good reason, but I'm very selective on my follows. Don't ever ask me for a follow back. Don't do that. I hate that. I like my clean timeline. I don't know how people do it when they're following 3,000 people. That would just make me go insane. See, Milton says, man, you saw my comments yesterday. I was 10 hot. Hunter, your chick's still trash, but I'm going to be optimistic about Silverfield. He's just coming in with the one-liner like Chad did. Maybe it's PTSD. I get it, Milton. Listen, I get it. Again, not saying that you had to just go all in. I'm just saying I'm just saying it's one of those deals to where you can be both. You can be upset at the administration, be upset at your check, but you can also, be excited about it too. So I get it. Caleb says, what has kept you doing Locked On Razorbacks instead of bringing your show under the Inside Arkansas umbrella? Well, I'll never give up Locked On Razorbacks podcast because it's kind of my baby. I don't own it. Tegna, the company, owns it, and it was started by David Locke. But I'm the only one that ever did Locked On Razorbacks. I started it. I built it. And if it wasn't for Locked On Razorbacks, folks, I would not be able to be doing what I'm doing right now. It is the greatest decision I've ever made in my life. I love doing it. I love being able to rant on it myself. I love discussions. I love having, talking with Curtis and Andrew. I love talking with all of you. But I think it's like therapeutic for me to kind of rant by myself sometimes. Maybe that's what I'm doing right now. But if it wasn't for that, I would not have been able to financially support myself and the company from its launch. And so that's why I keep doing it. And they've been great to me. They let me do it. They let me be creative because they see the numbers. In fact, I remember they were so shocked that they didn't really understand, and not in a negative way, but they just didn't understand Razorback fandom. They're like, hey, man, we don't really want needing you to talk about basketball in January. You need to be talking about the recruiting classes in February and stuff. And I'm like, y'all don't understand Razorback fans. Or when baseball came around, man, it just could not wrap their heads around talking college baseball, like leadoff topics. They're like, this is going to be a disaster. You cannot do this. It's like, give me a week and I'll show you the difference. And they saw the numbers. They're like, okay, do you? So, yeah, that was pretty fun. Let's see. I'm not going to read mean tweets. Or I don't know. I may read mean tweets. If they're mean at me, if you're mean to me, that's fine. Don't get mean to other people. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. I'm going to try to read every chat here, folks, because I want to see if there's any good ones. That, like Hoggy Red says, isn't Silver the lowest paid SEC coach? Cheap and lazy hire. I don't know if he's the lowest. I know he's on the lower part of it. It's lower than the new hires. But again, I don't care how much he's paid. I care how much he gets to make the team work. And we're going to find that here soon. Steven says, your latest video was top tier on the hiring, really hit the nail. You're going to have to be more specific, Steven, because I put out like 3 or 4 videos a day, I feel like. I don't know if it's that many, but you're talking about my Locked On. I appreciate that. Actually, I want to address that real quick for those of you that, you guys probably don't care about this. But my Locked On Sunday, I was one of the maddest I've kind of crashed out on. And I don't crash out very often. In fact, my own brother, who was one of my best friends and I love him to death, he like texted me and he's like, I think that's the maddest I've ever seen you. My brother said that, who's known me his entire life. And, people really, it's one of those things to where I look back on and I'm like, golly, it's not me. But I think that was just the pent up frustrations in everything that just came boiling over from the past 2-3 months. It's been tough, man. And I'm not a victim, but it's been tough to navigate through this whole thing, and tensions being so high and pressure being so high and people demanding answers, but you don't have answers, but they demand answers, but you have to give them answers. It was just a really tough thing. And I think that was just me exploding on the whole deal of like, I'm tired of this, and I'm tired of the treatment people are getting. I'm tired of just dealing with the nonsense that, you're settling once again. Because that's the thing is you missed out on Goalish. You whiffed. You had it, you got played, and you whiffed. And I just really hope that people don't come out and say, it's the only guy we offer the job. Stop. So yeah, I was just all about that. Oh my gosh. Monday Dark says, I've been a fan since the forum. It's like hog therapy sometimes. A lot of you probably don't even know the forum. Forum with John Neighbors on ESPN 99.5, Hog Sports Radio from 12 to 2. It was me with rotating in-studio guest Dudley Dawson. Shout out, this one I hung out with Dudley, Mike Irwin, and Aaron Peters. So, man, that is a throwback. Go ahead, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Thank you. Favorite movie of all time, John? I love movies. I don't watch them as much as I used to, unfortunately, because most of them new ones are crap. I don't know. I mean, the cliche ones like Shawshank Redemption, I love. I love Top Gun Maverick. That's probably the best new movie I've ever seen. Samuel says, John, what are your Curtis and Andrew's thoughts on your crash out on the Discord live the other day? I don't think they had any thoughts. And if they did, they didn't share them with me. So, whatever. Kingsley says, the Northwest Arkansas versus the rest of the state silent war is definitely as bad as it seems. Hope Sylvie, like that, is smart enough to try to fix it as much as possible. No, I'm not saying it's not there. I'm just saying that I don't think it's as, like, there's a lot of theories that like go into some of it where it's like, they're only having the money in Northwest Arkansas. They don't care about the Central Arkansas. And it's like, No, I don't know about that because are they playing as many games in War Memorial down there? No, but they're playing a basketball game there every year and it's sold out. They're playing baseball games down there. So I think that there's some trying. They could do more, but I think that they're trying to at least. But I do know that as being a Northwest Arkansas kid, when I went to Fort Smith and worked, and then when I went to Little Rock and worked, there was a major, there was a viewpoint that people gave me. They're like, we don't like you. You're one of those elitists from Northwest Arkansas. It's like, dude, I drove a Mercury Cougar in high school with 12-inch Alpine subwoofers with a hatchback that was so low to the ground, it looked like I was driving around a pregnant roller skate. And you're going to tell me that I'm an elitist because I went to Fayetteville? Let's not get crazy. Let's not get crazy. See, Samuel says, John, do you think Silverfield was capping when he said that when people thought he got the jobs a few months ago, that was a lot of NFL coaches were like, I want to come coach with you at Arkansas? I mean, maybe. I don't know why it would be like, it's just one of those things. Like, is he saying it for what reason? Like, what would be the reason of saying that? I just don't see it. It would be I don't think it would be a bad thing. I really don't. See, Samuel says, Mr. David Basil said that Memphis versus Arkansas looked well coached while the game was going on. He said it looked real responsive and quick to the ball on defense. I mean, yeah, there was, like I said this too on my Locked On. The Silverfield is not some scrub of a coach. I mean, say what you want about his record, about, which teams and conference, all that. The guy still has won, I guess, in the past 3 years, 10 wins, 11 wins, 8 wins. I don't care what you're doing. You're not trash of a coach. Kings says, yes, 100K subscribers got to be big, bro. No, listen, I got goals, man. I got goals, but it's about one goal at a time. Celebration. If I get to 100,000 followers or subscribers on Inside Arkansas, I think we're really going to be down there and start having a good time. What is this going on down here? This person, I don't know. I just now saw this. People were talking about it. Holy crap. I don't know what was going on here, man. Somebody just got into the chat, was losing their minds. Listen, the band hammer's got to come out for that. I don't know what the world's going on there. That person, listen, you better find something better to do and all that. Jeez. Want me to marry them? No, I'm not looking for that type of love at this point in time, but thank you all the same. EVG says, Missouri fan says, are you ever going to address the "we are better, we just never win the game" comment? I've addressed this so many times, and I'm going to be honest. I say things and give opinions on things that I've been wrong on, and I've admitted I've been wrong on. I will never understand this obsession with that comment I made about Missouri from 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago at SEC Media Days with Michael Braden, because I stand by it and it's fine. Like, there was no insults thrown. Missouri fans are just too stupid, I guess, to understand that there was nothing wrong with that. And for those of you who don't know, leading up into this, I know it hasn't been the way the past few years, but it was asked about the Arkansas-Missouri football game, and I said that a lot of people, myself included, feel like there's been many times in those games, because Arkansas hasn't won in many of them. It's like there's been many times and Arkansas felt like they were the better team going in, but they just didn't win the game. And that's what makes it frustrating. Like, that's not a crazy statement. Missouri fans, if you would have lost to Arkansas this past weekend, would you not have felt like going into it you were the better team, but you lost to them and that'd be frustrating? I mean, the Missouri fans are so stupid for that. I don't understand that what's so controversial about that take. It happens all the time. I mean, sheesh. I mean, this year Florida beat Texas. Does going into that game, does it mean that like Texas probably is pretty upset at the fact they lost that game because they were the better team? I'll never understand it. James says, John, your rant on yesterday on Locked On was so good. All-time rant. Yeah, it picked up a lot of steam there. One of my most watched Locked Ons ever, which is good. Thank you for that. Let's see. Are there many people with a good amount of followers at a Hog fan that you have blocked? I have Josh Teeter blocked. I think he's annoying. No, I don't. I usually don't block people unless I mute them if they're on Twitter. But no, I don't usually block people because usually it's just trolls and there's no reason to. And I like exposing people if they're really like jackholes and kind of be like, maybe want to, if they're real people, I'll screenshot and I'll post it. Like I did with that former Kentucky baseball player that was a high school baseball coach now and said horrible things in my DMs. I screenshot it and posted it because I'm like, are you happy now? Does that make you feel better? So I don't usually block people. If you say something like personal, because there's been some things like folks, I've had 2 stalkers in my life, and it's all based on my social media. And yeah, it was bad. Like one of them, I had to actually like threaten prosecution. It was pretty rough. It was pretty rough. So yeah, I'm very, very cautious. I'm very cautious with stuff like that. It can get scary. Like somebody left a note on my door just like 6 months ago. And I did not like that. Did not like that at all. Don't do those things. Just say hi. It was one of them microblade. I don't know who that was. That was crazy. Jane Neighbors, which the evolution of this picture has gotten out of hand. Like I don't even know what to say anymore. Trey and John went back-to-back rants. Yeah, I know Trey went on one. I was actually because I watched Trey's walk and talk. He does a great job with them. Like I've always felt like that was his best thing. Not that he's not good at everything, but like I always felt like that was something that I liked because I'm not a reader. I'm not a writer. That's just not my thing. So I always liked it when it was reactions. And yeah, he was pretty pissed too. And I think he just frustrating. It's frustrating, man. It's truly frustrating. Student section positive. Why to open the stream to get 4 ads in a row? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I did not put them there. I'll tell you that. A lot of great questions in here. Again, I like doing this stuff. Because again, it's like sometimes it's just nice to just run through the chat. Like we try to talk about specific things and then get to the chat, but just having an open forum like this, having some fun with that. It's pretty cool. Jeez. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. Not gonna get to that. Not gonna get to that. Everyone did the span test. Oh, sweet Arkansas gal. Hey, good to see you. Miss you. Hopefully retirement's going well for you. Blaine says, John, I remember you in the mornings with JB. Now this is the ultimate throwback. This is the ultimate throwback. That was my first gig in radio was over there. 92 won the ticket. At the time, it was ESPN 92 won the ticket. Man, that is... The fact that you're still around, Blaine, like it's not like living, but just the fact that you're still rocking with me, man, is awesome. Like that's a really cool thing. Thank you for that. I still like it's one of those deals to where I guess hold on a second. Sorry. Ryan Silverfield just posted. Oh, he just posted a like appreciation note to Memphis. Like a graphic and everything. Interesting. I mean, I get it. I'm glad he did. I still wish that Sam Pittman and Chad Morris would say something to the fans. Bobby's was great. Bobby's was great, though. But okay, I get it. Sorry, I have his notifications turned on. I saw that. I was like, oh, gosh. Needed to always get nervous about stuff like that. Mr. Snow says, how many different states have you traveled to? What was your favorite place to travel to? Dude, I haven't traveled jack squat. I didn't vacation much as a kid traveling. Up until the NCAA tournament game in San Francisco the first time around, I had never been further west than Dallas. That's a fact. But, I mean, I'm a simple dude. I like Florida. I like going to the beaches down there. I like that. I want to travel more. I'm going to Mexico. I'm leaving the country for the first time ever, folks, here soon. So, watch out. Watch out. Man, sorry, guys. I'm trying to work through these chats. A lot of these are great. Again, appreciate all of you. Desire said, any updates with the kid? Tried setting you up with his mom. No updates there. No updates there. Jeez. Samuel says, John, after watching your video interview with Drink at SC Media Days, I actually gained respect for him. I did too. Like he did not have to do it, and I'm glad he did. It was fun. Like I took issue with Drink from the beginning. I didn't like his personality, to be honest, but I also understood a little bit of why he does what he does, because it's kind of like to the extent of, like Tony Vitello over at Tennessee, where you got to, in order to get that attention and get the attractiveness to recruits and whatnot, you got to kind of act out a little bit. And I think that was part of it. But I mean, I respect the man. Dude's a solid coach. Kingsley, you're coming to the Dallas game again, same spot. Yes, we are coming to the Dallas game. Just trying to do the same spot, but man, we just don't know. It's kind of hard to. We've been so wrapped up with this coaching search, but we are going to be down there though, for sure. Me, Curtis, Andrew, I believe one of our friends from the Discord too, and Presley, our intern Presley. She actually lives in Dallas, and I think she's going to be at the game with us too. So yeah, be a whole crew. Heartbroken Hawk says, Curtis was cool and followed me on Twitter. Still waiting on John and Ella. Shake my head. I'm not sorry. No offense, Heartbroken Hawk. I'm not going to follow you on Twitter. Just being honest. In fact, when me and Curtis was in Auburn, we were at an establishment the day before the game, and we started talking about it because we went through some of the media members that were like unfollowed me or unfollowed us. And like he just did a purge. Like Curtis just did a purge of his follows because he had over 3,000. I don't know how many he unfollowed, but he said it's therapeutic. I was like, yeah, it's therapeutic. Bart Freeman says, what is your honest opinions of Silverfield? I mean, I think I've given it, but I'm giving him a chance. I want to see where it goes. And as I've said many times before, I don't care who the coach is. They got to have the money and the funding to make it work. But he's been coached for a day and a half. So far, he's done some good stuff. I mean, today was a great day. Run out of that water. It was a great day today. So hopefully he continues it on. But I'm going to give him a chance. I'm going to give every coach a chance. I just didn't like the fact that Arkansas got their pants pulled down and got beat out by all the other SEC schools again. Because Silverfield was not the choice, from my understanding, until the midnight hour, folks. Like it was goalish. It was goalish. And then the dominoes felt where Florida cooled on Kiffin, so they then went over Summerall. Auburn had cooled on Summerall, so they went after goalish. And then that's how you ended up with Silverfield, from my understanding. From my understanding. Okay, figuring out that's let's see. John, do you think some of the later interviews were actually Silverfield interviewing assistants? I don't think so. No. Again, Silverfield was the guy at the very end. The very end. That's not a bad thing, too. It's not to say that, oh, he's crap because he wasn't. No, he was in the mix, but just a little bit different. So let's see. Yes, sir, John. You and JB made my mornings, man. Still a big JT fan. I am a big JT fan. Justin Timberlake. I still have a poster of his Future Six Love Sounds album. I don't have it hanging up though, so let's just relax, everybody. But yeah, it was good times though. I'm still that. Jeez, man, it's on this. Trying to work through it all. Appreciate it though, everybody. Got turned down stone cold. Yeah, you did. Evan says, I'm going to miss Thursday night simulations. Yeah, we'll probably still do some Thursday night stuff. Maybe some members only streams. We enjoy those. We appreciate our members. We got to give them some love. We always got to do that. There was one chat, and I don't have producer Cameron in here, so I don't remember or not having somebody star them, but again, because I try to answer questions that are also not like necessarily Razorback related too, because that's always fun to get into the mix of what people think. Heartbroken Hog says, John, you'll always be single with that attitude. Got to be willing to branch out. Yeah, I know. If you can't find love in the comments section on a YouTube live stream, then I guess it's just doomed from the start. Chuck says, I found Inside Arkansas through your Locked On Razorbacks pod. Curtis got me back into basketball with his analysis. Appreciate y'all's work ethic. Thank you. Yeah, that's what we like doing, man. Is like we like grinding. Because If something doesn't work out, all right, what is this person? These people is just going nuts. Who knows? I guess there's worse things for someone to spam into the chat other than for me to be their wife. I don't know. Jeez, I don't remember what I was talking about. The grind. Yeah, it's like if this thing doesn't work, which it is going to work, and it is working well, which we love, and we appreciate everybody, appreciate our sponsors and everybody making it. It's going to work, and it's like it's never going to be. If it doesn't work out, it's not going to be because we didn't work hard enough. Like I'll be damned if I don't let that happen. Like I'm gonna. It's the work's going to be put in, and luckily I've had some time now to not work as many hours. I still work. Like I sit at my desk and just grind out a lot of stuff. But man, for a while there, it was I felt like I was putting in like 18-hour days just trying to make this whole thing work. But it's worked out though. It's worked out. Rev says, how was he not the choice when you were hearing they were scared of the fan reaction for 2 weeks? It feels like they already had him. So this is a great question. I think that they were afraid of the fan reaction because there was still a feeling that Alex Golish was going to say no at the time, because I had been saying that was weeks ago, and there's a lot of things that changed. But I think that they were still in the mix of talking with Golish. I think Eric Morris was still kind of in the mix, but maybe more of a smoke screen at this point now. But they wanted Golish. They had Golish. They were under the assumption Golish was going to be the guy until the midnight hour happens, and then they didn't get him. Plain and simple. They got beat out. They got played and beat out. And that's why it's kind of unfortunate, because it's just another L that you took. But that does not mean that Golish at Auburn is going to be incredible and Silverfield at Arkansas is going to be trash. It does not mean that. Sometimes things work out better that way. But the point is like it's just a tough look. And I think that's why Razorback fans responded the way they did. And Trey Schapp's tweet didn't help matters. And this is why I find it so important to, like, if you are a reporter and you're looked to be breaking news, then you break news. Okay. But you just got to be careful about that stuff, because I think that's what made the reaction 20 times worse, is because of that report that came out. Everyone got their heart set on Golish, and when it wasn't him, it was a disappointment. That's to me was the biggest problem. And so that's why you got to be so careful with that, man. You got to be so careful with that. But I also wonder too, how many people would be mad or as mad if Ryan Silverfield was still hired, but it was a different athletic director that did it. Like, say if Yurchek was fired after around Pittman, they had a new AD come in, and then they hired Silverfield but the new AD is the one that did it. I also wonder if anybody would be, freaking out about that. So people still asking about the testing. Yeah, I was just testing some random things here, trying to make the best product possible, which apparently my camera is great. So at least I have that. At least I have that. Let's see. Bart says he is starting out with a lot of enthusiasm, getting Arkansas recruits on the board. Great start. I agree. Let's see. Charlie says, I drawing a picture of a Razorback. Are you? Is you saying you are drawing one, or you have a drawing? Either way, that's cool. I wish I was an artist. I'm so bad. I can barely write my own name. My penmanship's terrible. My artistic, if he told me to draw a portrait of somebody, it would have looked like Nick Pringle's picture that he tried to have a Razorback. It would be bad. Let's see. Ryan says, okay, who has the best hog-related followers? I've got Curtis, Daniel, Shee, Ryan. Oh, so now we're having a measuring competition about who's got the follows from notable Twitters. Well, that's going to get you far. A few more here, folks. This is stupid. I would not plan on going this long, but thank you. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been fun. Became a Hawks fan 2 years ago when I started grad school. Discovered Inside Arkansas through Locked On. John Neighbors is responsible for my obsession of Hawks sports. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, but thank you, Seth, for real. That is the thing that sucks is like I started doing Locked On as soon as Chad Morris was hired, and like I just have not. I want to know what it's like to have a fun football season because I've had great basketball and baseball even, but I haven't had a whole lot there. Other than that, Philip says, "What about the financial backing of the program? He evidently was instrumental in helping with Memphis's finances." That's the question. And I don't care what they can sit there and they can go into that press conference and say all day long, we have it, we have it, we have it. The evidence, or as they say, the proof is going to be in the pudding. If you're going to have all this finances, that transfer portal class better be rocking. That better be, it's like, you better be beating out other major SEC schools for guys. The recruiting class better be solid. Like, that's going to prove it. You can say all day long, but that's going to be the deal. Sam says, what kind of stuff do you do to prepare for Inside Arkansas Live? Is it mainly topics to talk about? It kind of just depends. I mean, if it's like summertime, it's a lot more challenging because you actually got to get creative. But most of the time, it's just let's talk about the current situation, the current stance on stuff. And that's kind of my thing. Like my Locked On, for instance, I do it in one take, and that's not a brag. It's just like I know if I overanalyze it and try to, fix every little minor detail and stuff, I'm going to end up driving myself insane. So I try to just do it in one take, and it's what makes me a lot more comfortable with everything. But yeah. Shout out to our guy Peyton from Blue Ember. He says, all I can speak of is from Blue Ember side of things, and we completely believe in the product that Inside Arkansas puts out. They're truly proud that the fact that we are partners with you guys. Hey, we are too, man. We really appreciate you guys over at Blue Ember and all that you've done. Appreciate Peyton. Appreciate making it happen. Awesome spot, folks. They got places all across the state of Arkansas. Awesome spot. So thank you, Peyton. We're looking forward to it. Again, this Wednesday at the Rogers location from 12 to 2. William says, is there any hope of getting U of A creds? I mean, I'm not going to bank on it. I mean, I just, I know we talk about it all the time, but it's something that like I'm hopeful for. I've had a lot of people reach out to me from within the university wanting to talk with me about stuff. We'll see though. I think, and I hope is that people start to realize like that we do have a large platform and we have a large voice, and it's not like we're threatening, because we're not, but it's like we're a little bit different, man. We're a different breed. And I'm really excited because we got some big news. I think it's big news coming up here soon that we can't wait to announce, of another expansion of our content. It's going to be expanding into another platform. One that I'm very familiar in. So if you want to take some of that, some of those hints, check that out. All right, just a few more here. Goodness gracious. Hog on, it says, John, if you had a choice of one of the two, which would you choose? Football team going 7-5 next season, or Hunter Yurchek being fired at the end of the year? Which would you choose? Listen, I don't know, man. I got my problems with Hunter Yurchek, and it's not personal. And my whole thing is it's always going to be the communication. It's the communication. And I know that he probably doesn't care for me, and that's fine. But, if he's watching, it's not personal. It's never been personal. It's never going to be personal. I just really disagree with a lot of the decisions that have been made, especially in the communication side of things. And I never want anyone to lose their job. I never want to say I want somebody fired right now on the spot. I may say there's time for a change, and I've been saying that, but I don't know. I just don't want anyone I wouldn't want anyone actively calling for my job. Just I'm sure like you wouldn't want anyone actively calling for your job, regardless of what you do. And that's just not what I'm going to do. I try to put everything in perspective and keep my emotions in check and be very honest about everything, but also be human about it. Like, we're all human beings. We all make mistakes. So, but I get that. Let's see. We're talking about the Trey Shapp report. Let's see. My bad venture says, Galway's drama isn't what did it for me. I thought it was Silverfield from the get-go because no one else wanted him, not even Memphis, and Hunter is a cheapskate. Well, and then he's like, and that's why I'm still mad about it. I mean, I get it. Again, I get it. If you're upset I'm not going to get mad at you. I'm not going to disagree with you. Totally understand it. Totally understand it. But I'm just telling you from what I know is that you were somebody that was going to get goalish. It was the belief of goalish. And in the midnight hour, the last second, you got Silverfield. Like, that's just the fact. And there's some other shady things that have been going on. And not shady as in like illegal, just shady things that I don't necessarily care about. But we'll talk about that once. Maybe we'll do another like night stream sometime this week, and I'll go into that a little bit more detailed. Let's see. My Simple Vive VT, what camera do you use, John? It's actually called an iPhone Pro Max. I have it plugged in via my Mac Mini, and it's being used as a camera, which is 4K. Which is a lot better than any camera and cheaper because I use it as a phone, but it's much better and easier to use it this way than to buy one of this quality. So I guess that's why it's the one. Thank you for asking, though. Let's see. A few more here. Black neighbors. I still don't understand this. It's going to get me in trouble. Y'all need to start doing stuff against Curtis and Andrew. Y'all need to start doing the AIs of Curtis and Andrew. You need to start doing the play on names with Curtis and Andrew. They slow up. They need some of that stuff too. Doesn't always have to be me. I know I got the most like material here, but just throw some shade their way. He says, what is the business model of Inside Arkansas? Is it based on ad revenue? Yes, it's based on ad revenue. Because my biggest thing is I never wanted to, and it's not against anybody that does paywall stuff. I just never wanted to have a paywall because paywalls are not cool. And we have so many different things that we have to pay separately, different streaming services, Netflix, all these subscription services that we have. I just didn't want to do that. I wanted to base it to where it's still good. Actually, not good. Great, the best content you can get, but it's free to the consumer. Because I think that that's what goes the furthest. And then we're just appreciative of like the members and the super chats y'all give, which is so kind because we never want to ask for that. We never say that you have to do that for anything. It's just truly appreciated. And we thank you so much. But we also want to help out. And my whole idea is kind of a catch-22 is it's like if you do the paywall thing, yeah, it's nice, consistent money, but it's really only helping, a few amount of people. But if we can at least do the advertising, we can help support companies and businesses by promoting them. So it's like everybody wins in that. And I like, we have some companies that are, most of them are inside, no pun intended, Arkansas and the inside the state. And we love doing that and love promoting them. And we're thankful for that and appreciative. So that's what it's based on. I tried to take all the models of the different content. And I talked to a lot of people about this. I took my experience of like sports talk radio, but mixing it in with giving people what they want and making it best. Cause I think, if you just hit a commercial break all the time, a lot of people are just going to tune it out because no one wants to sit around for 8 minutes of commercials. But if you're the voice that's telling everybody about the great businesses and the partners that you have, the retention's higher. People believe in it. They believe in you. They're going to listen for longer, and it's best for everybody involved. So that's my approach. And I'm just flattered that so many people are starting to do it now. Truly am. Let's see. Man. Obviously, I just love talking for a living and just keep going. Would love to see you start up a show like the Locked On SEC Sunday show. Always cool to get different perspectives, but miss having yours as part of that broader conversation. Yeah, no, I like to jump on it sometimes. It's just when you're so irrelevant in football like you've been, it got terrible. Like all these other hosts are talking about their teams and their great games and matchups and playoffs. And I'm over here just with my crayons in the corner. I'll be over here if you guys want to talk about my team not being good. That sucks. Samuel says, I think Curtis does most of his pod balances one take, and it's very impressive. Yeah, I'm sure he does. Nothing worse than having to edit afterwards. Nothing worse than that. Oh, Charlie said, I did drawings, a picture of a Razorback. Nice. Yeah, it's probably better than mine. Few more here. Let's see, because again, I don't want to miss out any questions that somebody asked. Hog fan says one of the reasons I follow Inside Arkansas is because they don't follow the company narrative like fucking slow do. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've said it many times before, and you guys are all know, but it's like I'm big on the fans, man. Y'all are my audience. Y'all are the one that I do it for. Because if without y'all, it's meaningless. And coaches come and go, ADs come and go, players come and go, but y'all fans are always going to remain the same. You're not leaving. You're not leaving the Razorbacks. And I'd rather, dress my laurels and go all in with y'all and ride with y'all than ride with something that's going to be coming and going and they're just a job to them. Like this is life for me. Like not saying just the Razorbacks the only thing I have in my life. It's a big part of it though. It's my life. It's not a job. It's not something I'm looking for the next bigger thing. I didn't want to go anywhere else. I didn't want to do anything else. Someone's like, "Oh, you're going to be at the SEC network soon." It's like, no, I mean, listen, I'd love to do stuff with them, but I don't want to talk about any other schools. I don't want to talk about other teams. I want to talk about my Razorbacks because that's what I care about. That's what I'm passionate about. Samuel says, do you think Arkansas is going to have the same or more or less NIL for football than with Silverville in charge? I think it'll be more. I just don't think it's going to be a lot more. It's be more, though. Somewhat more. David says, all I know, John, is you're a great guy, man. Keep up the good work, sir. Well, thank you, David. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Travis says, that's a good attitude to have, John. Makes life less stressful. Yeah. I mean, I want to, like, it's not something that, people hear rants or opinions on stuff and you'll not like somebody. And I know there's a lot of people that don't like me, and that's fine. Like, I don't care. I just want to do me. I want to be me. And if I can be me and be successful in it, well, doing this, I am going to do my best. But I don't think people understand just how appreciative I am. Yeah, because I've been at the lowest of lows, and I didn't make any money for a very long time. In sports talk radio, I didn't make any money for half of my career. I didn't start making actually like good money until I got to the buzz, and that was in 2020. And I started doing radio in 2012. So think about that. Like, it took a long time. So I'm just very thankful to be able to be here, doing what I'm doing, and having fun with it, man. I'm very blessed. I'm a very blessed person. Let's see. Colin says, how do your Inside Arkansas partnerships work? Do you seek out sponsorship opportunities or more of they come to you? I think it's a little bit of both. I feel like, because I do all the graphics, I do all the designs, I do all the sales, I run the business, I do payroll, I do all that stuff. And a lot of the times it's people that come to us because it's just people who watch us and love it and want to be a part of it, which is awesome. And there's some people that I've reached out to that I'm friends with or whatnot. Like SARACEN, I've had a great relationship with SARACEN and Carlton, and they've been awesome for us and awesome to me. And so that's like something that I've had beforehand. Like Alumni Hall was something that I had. They love us too for some reason, but it's so it's a little bit of both. One day though, I'd like to have a salesperson full time that would take it on, but I also know that who better to sell the product than the person and the people that are building the product. I mean, that's kind of the best sales pitch. So I trying to grow, man, trying to do what's important for the most part. So let's see. Samuel says, has Curtis started around the SEC basketball pod yet? He has not yet. I don't think so. Curtis has got a lot on his plate. He's with a new kid and everything. But he's a hard worker, man. Dude just doesn't stop. And I'm appreciative of him. Appreciative of him and Andrew both. Because, there's stuff that I know that we all have disagreements on stuff, on how things should go and everything. But there's not two guys I'd rather be in the foxhole with in this whole thing than Andrew and Curtis. I can promise you that. Hogs Plus and Chill, is that what that is? This is definitely the best version of John Neighbors. Oh. This is the best version? Keep doing these. To be honest, I used to have you muted. Just wasn't a fan for reasons hard to explain, but like an earlobe, you've grown on me. Thanks. I appreciate it. Well, I'm sorry if I annoyed you. I just like to have fun, man, on social media. But thank you, Hogs Plus and Chill. Means a lot. Ryan says, John, what's your favorite, best interview you've ever done? Well, that's tough. That's a great question. I'm gonna have to go back in the archives for this one. You know what? I got one. And this is, I wish I had record of this because this was one of my very early going in my radio career. But Chris Mortensen, that was an awesome one before he passed away. Rest in peace. I got to interview him once, and that was really cool. Really cool. So that was up there. I always love talking with the SEC network people. Peter Burns, great guy. Alyssa Lang, good friend of mine. Like, she's awesome. Laura Rutledge is awesome. Paul Feinbaum, love that guy too. So yeah, I mean, I've been pretty fortunate. I have quite a few there, but yeah, that's a tough one. I have to really think about that. Kingsley says, John, do you still preach? No, I wish I did though, man. I do miss doing it. And but people are probably like wondering, like, what, John preached? John? Yeah, I used to preach once a month. So that's something that means a lot to me. My faith does. And, but I try not to, no pun intended, like be preachy in the content here because it's like, this isn't the place, but it does mean a lot to me. And I wish I was still able to do it. It's just, I got to focus on things here, doing it the best way. But thank you, Kingsley, for asking. Let's see. Samuel says, I still go back to the live stream of Cal officially coming to Arkansas the night that Curtis got Andes. Yeah, that was a great time, man. That's when we really came on the map. That was awesome. Bama Hog. Do you have any hobbies? In all seriousness, no shade. I don't know why that would be shade. It's asking me my hobbies. Not as much as I used to, but I will say I do enjoy golfing when I'm able to golf. I'm not great at it, but I love doing it. I try to go to the gym. It's tough, but I try to. Let's see. That's how sad it is. I like creating things. I like, it's not stuff for public consumption, but it's like I do music type stuff. I don't think anyone will ever hear it. But I have a weird mind. That just, it's like my own little world up here. And, I just create things and I like to put it into like to perspective of like somewhere. But, yeah, it's just stuff like that. I like doing, so I like going to social events. I love hanging out with people. I love hanging out with, I'm a big socialite. I like doing those things too. So, that's probably pretty sad, but that's pretty much it. William says, I live in Texas now and I get my Razorback fix from Inside Arkansas crew and Trey B. Thanks for all you do, or all the fun and information. Thanks, man. Appreciate you, William. We try. Zeke said, you're spot on Feinbaum after a 100-year check at the Touchdown Club. It was next level. Great. Thank you. Yeah. Again, I'm not going to shy away from my opinions on things. So I love going on Feinbaum. I know he has some other, because I want to say it's just like me and Baz really that he has on, which is awesome. Like, I'm flattered for that. Baz is definitely the more renowned media member, but yeah, it's fun. It's only when Arkansas has some reasons to be talked about. So yeah. Let's see. Trying to get to all the nice comments because I feel like we don't always get to the nice comments. Sometimes, Andrew likes to pull up those mean comments. I like the nice comments. It says, we're thankful for you. Curtis and Andrew is okay. Please pay Curtis well, by far the best basketball podcaster, sports writer, whatever that I know. Yeah, will do. Thank you for the advice. I'll make sure that he gets a raise based on your chat. So yeah, he's ball knower. That's because that's what somebody said. They're like, John doesn't know anything about basketball. I was like, yeah, that's why I hired Curtis, so I don't have to. Because he's the one that knows. Samuel says, did I dream this or were you on a news show yesterday talking about the hire in front of the stadium? No, you didn't dream it. I go on THV 11 and Channel 5 here locally once a week. So I do the TV thing because both those companies are owned by Tegna, who owns my Locked On Razorbacks podcast. And lo and behold, for some reason, they're like, hey, let's get this guy's take on TV, on big TV, the real TV stuff. So yeah, I do it once a week, but glad you were watching it. Our Broken Hog says, Razorback devotional makes a lot more sense now. Yeah. That's why I was like, because when I create stuff, I like to have it relatable to myself, because to me, that's what you're always going to be most comfortable in, is when you're talking about things that you understand, or at least that you're confident in. So it's like the Razorbacks. I talk about the Razorbacks because I'm confident in it and I know about it. But if somebody was just like one day, is like, hey, you got to talk about Ole Miss, I'm like, I don't know what to do. But I try to find things that are relatable into my content of the stuff that I know about and how I can tie it in that other people can relate to as well. And I know that there's a lot of people who are people of faith, and I think there's a lot of connections that we can have, because again, my faith means a lot to me, and trying to overcome adversity or also deal with success, there's a lot of connections there. And I thought it was just kind of a fun approach to it. But I had to stop doing it because, man, it got too depressing. Like when you're losing 10 straight games. There's that. Patrick says, I see why you speak well. I don't know. I don't even know if it has to do with my preaching. I don't know if I speak very well. I had to naturally lower my voice, though, when I first was starting to get into radio. I did these practices that were pretty intense to make my voice stronger. And I think it hurt. I think it worked out. But I still have my very first radio show recorded. And one of these days, I'm going to like play it and react to it. It's brutal. It sucked. I can't wait to listen to it. But that was back in 2012. So maybe I'll do that one day. Let's see. Man. James says, I do give youth pastor vibes. That makes sense. Not a bad thing at all. Well, thank you, I guess. Try. Good grief. Samuel says, have you or anyone have ran into anyone on Cal's staff? Ran into Cal a few times. I've been seeing Chin Coleman, Chuck Martin, or Flint once. I've seen a few of them. I'm not going to sit here and say I have a good relationship with John Calipari. I think he knows who I am because I was in that Vice documentary. I think he knows. He's given me like type of stuff. But I also don't listen, yeah, would I love to have a conversation with John Calipari? Of course. But I'm also not going to be like, hey, Cal, you know who I am. Remember me? So I'm not going to do that. But I think I have a pretty good relationship with a few of the guys on staff. Curtis probably has a better relationship with most of them, though, obviously. But a few of them I get along with, especially the ones from Kentucky. As weird as that is, because they remember us and me and on the dock and all that, and like knowing that we were doing that. So yeah. Blue Chasing Blue says, I love y'all, but I miss Scotty. Y'all were all good together. Yeah, I miss Scotty too. Scotty was awesome, man. We wish we could have had him a part of it and worked it out, but we respected his wishes and understood completely. But Scotty was awesome. Scotty's still awesome. And, always wishing Scotty nothing but the best. For sure. Let's see. Sacrilegious, that question, man, you're going to have to DM me on that. I'm not going to show all my tricks and trades here on this live stream when it comes to my company. Samuel says, do you and Baz get along? Yeah, me and Baz are great. I love Baz. We talk pretty often, actually. My favorite thing about David Basil is that I will text him and he will send me back a voice memo that's like 3 minutes long. And I love that so much because it's just so Baz. But no, Baz is great. Baz introduced me to some great people. Some of the most fun I had in Nashville for SEC Media Days was with Baz. Like he goes hard in the paint, man, and I love hanging out with him. He's a great man, a great dude, and a great Razorback. So I'm always going to have great things to say about Baz. Let's see. Man, just a few more of these. I know I keep saying it, but I don't want to end it. Hog Plus and Chill says, seriously, what are we going to do about the poor in-game fan experiences? What will take for the decision makers to listen? Our feedback falls on deaf ears. Well, I can tell you just from my own experience that I've been talking with them, with certain people, I've been asked for advice on certain things, and I've been giving my advice. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. But I've said time and time again, and I'm not in a way like looking at this from an arrogant perspective. I'm just saying that if anybody there at the U of A would just reach out to me if you need just advice or anything, I would love to be a part of it. I'd do it for free. Like, I don't want anything. I want the atmosphere to be great. And, I don't know a whole lot of things, But I know I know Razorback fans. I know Razorback fans. I know what they want. I know how they want it. I know what makes it great. And I'd love to help because it's a tough thing to try to figure out what your audience wants. But man, I will do anything I could to help out. Absolutely. Germanic, Celtic. Who do you want to win the championship, John? Championship of what? I guess it depends. Great googly movie says, John moved to Dallas 20 years ago, continually following the Hogs. You and Curtis and Andrew are a breath of fresh air. Maybe we will see you at the Texas Tech basketball game. Keep it going. I hope so, man. Yeah, we'll be there. We will be there. Hopefully it's a good game. Hopefully Wednesday is a great game. Let's do that. Let's see. John, I feel like the worst thing that could happen to you, Curtis, or Andrew is laryngitis. Yeah. The sickness, which I've been fighting a little bit. Sickness, it happens, man. And I have some extreme remedies I try to do just to make it work for the short period of time I can do it in. But it sucks, man. And that's like one of those deals to where I always try to take care of my voice, because if I don't have my voice, I got nothing. Like it ends up being a pretty terrible thing and pretty lame thing if you don't got it, a voice. So yeah. What's your favorite Bible verse? Man, you guys are talking about my faith here a lot. I think it's always going to be all sin and fall short of the glory of God. Romans 2:23, I believe. Because I think that's always the most important one that everyone has to remember, and myself included, of like, no one's perfect. No one's going to ever be perfect. And we have to understand that and understand that people make mistakes. And nobody is better than anybody else. We're all human. So probably that one. Jeez, whatever the profile picture this is, Dud Mac. My goodness, man. You said previously you don't have access to Razorback pressers because you have no affiliations of merit. What about your locked on affiliation? Could that be a way to gain access? Well, I don't say it was affiliations of merit necessarily. I mean, we've been given different reasons, but from what I've been told, and this is where I kind of did take things personally, is basically like, you're not legitimate media because what you do is not legitimate, is how I took it. But I've tried it with Locked On, and it doesn't. They won't do it with just Locked On. They don't. Not a podcast. It's just a very anti-podcast. So if I am doing it though, if I help out with Channel 5 or THV 11, I can kind of piggyback on that. That's what I've done sometimes to help out, but that's about it. Kingsley says, nah, I don't know. You got to play acoustic guitar to be a youth pastor. John, you got any guitar chops? No, man. No. I love music, and I felt like I really missed out as a kid trying to learn instruments, because I love playing instruments. I feel like I got some rhythm. The only thing I've ever done musically is I won a beatbox competition when I was like 17 years old at the mall in Northwest Arkansas. Stupid. That's about it. So, yeah, I think that's probably it. But no, I can't. I wish I could play the guitar, man. I wish I could. Let's see. Some of y'all are being weird in here too. Saying random stuff. Sharkasaw says, hey, John, I've been working on a Hog Stats-esque football stats project website. If you guys have any interest in that, I can give you a run through when it's done. Yeah, sure, man. Hit me up. I'm always interested in new and cool stuff that we're doing and that we could be a part of, or if it makes sense, I think I like to expand. That didn't sound right. But you know what I mean? Sorry, I keep having to go through these because I just don't want to miss any. I feel bad anytime I miss like questions and stuff that get asked. Oh, Mrs. Dansvan. Hey, I always appreciate you, Miss. She's like, John, you don't have to preach for your faith to come through. The way you treat people and your demeanor shows your faith, and it's a great witness. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, again, it's a tough thing to try to, like navigate through that, and to be, where you're not coming across the wrong way. I never want to come across to anybody that I'm better than anybody else, because I'm not. And I think some people can take it that way if you wear it on your sleeve all the time. And it's like, I do it I try to do it in my actions and who I am as a human being. And, that's all I can do. It's all any of us can do. So, but I'm not trying to like bring us all up. This is not what the stream was about. But I appreciate it though. I really do. I really do. Seth says if Silverfield turned down other jobs, there must have been P4, right? Whether G6 coach could compete financially with Memphis. I don't think Silverfield turned down any other jobs, y'all. I don't think he was offered any other jobs at this level. There was no other jobs that he got offered at the Power 4. This was the only job he got offered, from my understanding. T Park Sark. What was your favorite moment in the Alex Golish era at Arkansas? The one where it almost happened and should have happened, but it didn't happen. How about that? Jeez, I'm going to just miss some text. Been talking to y'all too long. No, everybody's giving their favorite scriptures. Thank you, Romans 3:23. Yeah. One of my favorite sermons, though, real quick. I've been on it, but one of my favorite thing is always about being prepared for life. And everyone knows the David and Goliath story. It's like David slayed Goliath not with the sword and armor, but did it with a sling and hit him in the head. My favorite thing about that is if you remember the story, it's like God. The reason that David was so confident is because God was with him, and it's like he went to the brook and gathered 5 smooth stones, and he used, like, if you think about it though, it's like if God was on his side, why did he gather 5 stones when he only needed the one? I've always thought that was very interesting, and then I always thought about it, it's like, well, it's because it's even though God may be walking with all of us, we always need to be prepared on our own end. We always need to be making sure that we're doing our part too. So anyways, again, not to get too preachy on y'all, I promise. It was just something that I always enjoyed. Members only beatbox. That sounds awful. Where did you preach at? I'm not going to out that. I'm not going to do that. But it was a church that my grandparents, when they were alive, attended, and a lot of great families and a lot of great people there. Beatbox right now. I'm not beatboxing right now. That was a long time ago. I'd have to warm up the vocal cords again. Get some water. All right, let's see. I think I'm almost to the end of these. I think I'm almost there. Boom. Kingsley says, Waymo just drove through a police stand in San Francisco, and I thought about y'all. Yo, that was the craziest thing. Because I don't like being in those situations. I'm from Fayetteville, man. Like, I don't know about real crime or danger. I'm from Fayetteville. So anytime that stuff happens, I'm like, dude, I don't know what's like. There could be a shootout and I get smoked right in the dome from, fire or what do you call it? When it's like not shrapnel, but you know what I'm saying? Like a shot that goes awry. Like it just domes me and I'm dead. And it's like, oh, how did John Neighbors die? Well, he got shot in the face in a police standoff while he was in a Waymo in San Francisco. So it's like, it was a crazy thing though, man. And of course, the worst part about it is like I'm stuck back there in the back seat, and I got Curtis, who's 8 feet tall, and I got Logan, who's 7 feet tall and big bold boy. And then Andrew's in the front seat, just cracking up laughing at the situation, which stressed me out even more. So, yeah, it was a crazy thing. Crazy thing. Stray, thank you. Stray bullet. Thank you, Sharkansas. Yeah, that's what I was meaning. I love how everybody's talking about scriptures and stuff, and I guess those things that you can always see. So, okay, I tell you what. If y'all are still doing this, if y'all are still bringing up comments and questions, because for some reason there's still 250 people, or no, I don't want you. 250 people on YouTube, but there's 6,000 to be watching. Sheesh. If y'all keep doing this for 15 more minutes, I'll stay on. I'll make it an even 2 hours, and that'll be putting me at 10 o'clock, because that's usually, so it's funny. I don't go to bed until like 1 a.m. every morning, because I'm like, my mind is always racing. Like, and I mean this. None of y'all never need, if everyone ever asked you to go inside the mind of John Neighbors, do not do it, because it is such a weird place, man. Especially if I don't sleep. and I'm like delirious. I feel like that's when I do my best work creatively, though, for what it's worth. But yeah, it's I don't go to bed till late, and I try to just like I hang out with Rowdy, all that stuff. Which by the way, I keep meaning to bring on Rowdy just to see if everyone wants to meet him, which I know he'd be miserable at that. But and like show him on the stream. I don't know if I should. He might be asleep, but one of these days I'm going to do that. Samuel says, neighbors, thoughts on the Traylon Burks catch last night? That was lit. Closest thing I've seen since the OBJ catch. Yeah, that was awesome. I was so happy to see that for Traylon Burks, man. I was so happy for that. Like that guy has been through a lot and with injuries and everything. And he's just one of those gifted athletes that just doesn't matter. He can just do it. He's just good, straight up. And going through all he's done, it was nice to see him make a big catch and to have that. So that was really cool. Really love that. Really love that. Filthy Tom says, holy, you're still on. I know. People keep asking questions. Trust me. Because here's the thing is like, I got the Monday Night Football game on over here. So my perspective is, what would I be doing instead? Well, I'd probably be sitting here doing this or I guess watching the game while doing something else like editing wise, or I can sit here, watch the game, still do something editing wise, and hang out with y'all. So it's, gotta balance it all out there. Bamhawk says, what time do you get up in the morning? My alarm is usually set for 7, but I normally wake up before then, for what it's worth. Let's see. King said, if you do your best work, have to sleep delirious, then you're probably ADHD. A gummy might take you to the next level, to be honest. Fun fact, Kingsley, I am indeed ADHD, and it didn't get diagnosed until later in life. When I say later in life, I mean like 3 or 4 years ago. I never got tested, and I was having some issues with my show when I was at the Buzz. I was just like, I was out of a rhythm. I didn't know what was going on with me. I could not focus in. I could not have anything like that. And then I went to the doctor because it was like that serious. I was feeling so out of sorts. And I went and, he just asked me questions and he was like, you ever been tested for this? And I was like, no, never in my life. He's like, well, it sounds like, maybe something you want to get tested on. And he gave me 3 different doctors to go get tested at. And I only needed to get one to test me. But I have, unfortunately, like addiction's a pretty heavy thing in my family. So I wanted to, I'm always fearful of that. So I wanted to make sure that if I was going to do something where I was going to have to, take some sort of medicine that could have addictive principles to it, I'd have to make sure that it was serious. So I went to all 3 of those doctors and made sure that it's like they all the same results. And apparently, it was pretty bad. So I had to, I got some prescriptions and it's been a game changer, man. It's really, really helped out. And I'm happy about that. And it's just like one of those things I'm wondering, like, man, if I would have had this earlier, maybe I would have finished with a better than a 2.3 GPA in high school, or maybe I would have, not gone to college for 7.5 years because I apparently didn't like to do grades and everything. But the point is like, yeah, I'm definitely that. And the gummies and stuff, I know people that do it, but it's just not my thing, man. And again, nothing against anybody that does. Just I try to limit myself on the intake of anything into my body, other than the healthy stuff like fried chicken and fries and burgers and all that good stuff. Charlie says chill streams like this are goated, by the way. Yeah, I enjoy them, man, because I just I love talking about the Razorbacks, but sometimes it's just fun to talk about other things. That's a lot more fun. Just the way things are going. Are you still a Jets fan? Not. No, I'm going to be honest. Like, not really. It just really ruined. They ruined me. I used to be a much bigger Jets fan, but when you go through 15 years, like my football teams have been awful for 15 years. Arkansas and the Jets. And so, when you the Razorbacks, I'm never going to leave because I'm here and I'm in it and I do it for a living. But when it's the Jets and it's like 15 years of just complete and total irrelevancy, it's not really that fun anymore, in my opinion. Let's see. Great weather in Jonesboro. Seth says, I thought he was about to say, I am indeed on a gummy. No, I don't do that stuff. No. It's weird. I don't care. And here's another thing too. I'll share stuff about my personal life because, especially all my flaws, because I don't care. To me, it makes us all human. But when I was in high school was really when I was not like huge into it, but I did smoke marijuana when I was in high school, and it was something I did. Like I always made the joke because I worked at Best Buy when I was in high school, and I was like, my entire paycheck went to Mountain Dew, Doritos, and pot. And so, but once I got out of high school, never really touched the stuff ever again. Just because, again, when you have something go on in your family, and you know that there's genetics that could be that way, it kind of scares you a little bit. So, I'm very careful, is what I guess what the point is, about things, even if it's fine, even if it's harmless, even if it's not going to do anything. I just never want to have to rely on something in order for me to function as a human being. I tried. Now, there's a certain place that it gets to where you have to figure it out. But my biggest thing is just I'd rather try doing it, even if it's the easy way out. I'd rather try doing it the hard way because I feel like it's going to be better. Like that's when I tore my Achilles tendon when I was in high school. So it ruined my football career, or else I'd be in the NFL. But when I tore it, I had an option. I could have surgery on it, but then it could cause problems for me later in life. Or because I was young enough, I could just heal it naturally, but be out for 18 months and do physical therapy and everything. And I chose to do the other way of just healing it naturally. And I'm glad I did because, knock on wood, never had an issue with it again. So, I like to do things that way and try to make it where I figure things out on my own, like figure it out internally. And then, if it's just, there's a no-win scenario, then I try to go some other direction. But, it's just how it happens, man. I love how we went from like talking Razorback coaching search to like the company. Then we get into Bible verses. And now we're talking about drugs and social disorders. Like this is a stream that sums me up in a nutshell. Like this is just my life. I appreciate it. Blaine says, where do you put Burks as an all-time great wide receiver in Arkansas? It's that top 3. No, he's number 1. He's number 1. He's the best wide receiver that ever played at Arkansas. The dude had no flaws. He was big. He was strong. He was fast. He had great hands. He's a generational type athlete talent, in my opinion. I always got to say that, in my opinion. Woot says the movie Van Wilder's about neighbors. No, mine was more like Tommy Boy. It was more of that 7-year deal. A lot of people go to college for 7 years. Drew says, John, have you figured out stuff that helps you counter ADHD symptoms? I don't know if there's anything like specific that counters it. For me, at least, I try to just, again, it's all internally. I try to like will myself, which is such a weird thing because there's a lot of stuff I can't do that, but I just try. But a lot of it, I just try to like, for instance, I'll give you a great example. This isn't exactly ADHD, but this kind of gives you an example of what I try to do. So when I was getting into radio and I was getting into this place, you're the bigger you get and the more the audience that you have, you're going to have people that hate you and you're going to have people that say horrible things to you. That's just part of it. It sucks. It's not right, but it's part of it. And when I first got into it, I started getting that a little bit. I didn't know how to react because it's like, you're human. So if you get somebody saying something awful to you in person, your initial reaction is to say something back because it's what we are. We're humans. So, but I had to almost do like this psychoanalysis in my head to help me not care about that. And it's a matter of how do you approach it and what do you manifest it into? What do you use it as? Do you use it as fuel? Do you use it as a chip on your shoulder? Do you use it as something that depresses you? Do you use it as something that's serious? Do you use it as something as whatever? and how I felt like I navigated through it by using it to manifest this idea that, listen, it's like these are people that don't say it to your face. And if they do say it to your face, then you have a conversation with them. But if you react, they are winning because that's all that they want. And as soon as you react once, they're going to keep reacting. Others will keep reacting because they know it bothers you. So, like I had somebody ask earlier, and I think it was a chat I was pulling up. It's like, why do you get so much hate? And it's like, I don't know. And I don't know if I get more than anybody else, but I ignore it. Like, I remember the Eric Sullivan guy that kept going after me on Twitter. Maybe some of you remember that when I was at the Buzz because I took his job. I never responded to that guy except that one time because I just finally didn't want to mess with him. Because it's like, man, I'm focused on me and trying to make what I do the best. And, if you don't like it, that's fine. Like, I'm not saying you have to like me. You don't have to like my content. I would love it if you did. But the point is, sorry, I'm rambling, Drew. But the point is, sometimes I just try to manifest things, and to help out, I just almost got to like focus in on it, Like if I'm in an intense situation that I have to be on it, I have to like harness this focus. And it's almost like this, it's like, it sounds stupid to say this, and I'm going to say it anyways. It's like when you think extra hard, but you think extra hard about the intent of it, and the cause of it, and what it could be, and what's the meaning behind it, and how important it is. And then you just, you conjure this feeling of getting after it. So that was a very complicated answer to what was probably should have been a simple question. So I apologize, but that's just how I've always viewed it. Good question though. There you go, John. Word of God, healthy diet, pounding pavement and weight gym. My medicine. I'm 61 combat vet. Works for me. Hey, well, thank you for your service, John. And that's awesome. That's awesome. I hope it's when I'm 61, I'll be able to still be hitting the gym and all of that. But kudos to you, man. Kudos to you. That's awesome. T Park Sark says, my top 5 hogs, little bitty. You almost got me. You almost got me. That was good. That was a good one. That was good. That was great. I'm glad I didn't get Randy rainwatered, but that was crazy. That was wild. That was funny. See, John Neighbors AMA is live. Yeah, I guess so. This is what it's turned into. I enjoy it though. Again, maybe I'll do these more if people actually want them. I won't do them all the time because that gets annoying. I don't have time for that. But maybe like once a week. I still think I want to do these on Sundays. Not necessarily just this format, but some sort of content. I would love that. Jay Buck says, who remembers Tony Bua? I do. Tony Bua is a great player. Great name, too. Let's see. Hog on, it says, John, you've been testing for over 2 hours. Way to crush it tonight. It's not 2 hours just yet. It's getting there. But thank you. Thank you all the same. I appreciate everybody hanging out. It's fun. Let's see. Hunter says, John, what degree do you need to be in sports radio? Well, considering your boy here was a communications major, broadcast journalism is always that. The only thing about it is, sports radio is changing so much. It almost needs to become podcasting because this is not anything against it. It's just like sports talk radios, and it's evolving. It's a changing deal. And I don't think there's any specific degree. Because let's be honest, like what I'm doing right now, when I got into sports talk radio, I didn't need a degree. It's not like the Buzz looked at me and be like, oh, well, good thing you graduate from the University of Arkansas with a degree in communications, or else we're going to get the job. Like, I don't think it was ever that. Just about timing, man, and putting in work and dealing with a lot of BS, not making a lot of money for a while. It's a grind. It's not something I'd ever wish upon anybody. I wish you good fortune in the battles to come, but it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing to get into and once you, and here's the deal. Sports media, especially a local thing like here in Arkansas, is a tough thing to get into and to break into. But once you do, it's there. Because I would like to think, maybe I'm completely wrong about this, but I'd like to think that if something ever happened to me or to the company or anything, I'd like to think that maybe there'd be somebody out there that would be interested in talking to me for a job. I know when Natty State went through all that, I had companies here in Arkansas reach out to me about doing stuff, as well as some companies out in Nashville immediately. So it's like, once you establish yourself, you're set up pretty nicely, but don't burn any bridges, man. That's the biggest thing. Do not burn bridges. That's the most important thing I can ever say, because you never know when people are going to be. And trust me, I like to think I'm a nice guy. I like to think that I'm very tolerant and patient, but I don't forget. And if you ever screw me over, you did something mean to me, and especially when it was because you didn't respect me for it, it's like, I don't forget. I have, I don't know if I should say this, but I keep record of the worst things that have ever been said about me, not from just troll accounts, but like from real people. And I have them saved. It's like an Excel spreadsheet. So I can always like look up and see like, all right, I don't like this person. Why don't I? And I can see, I was like, oh yeah, that. So I have that. Hopefully no one ever gets all of that spreadsheet. So Pimp Juice says, damn, bro, you're still on. I know, man. I don't know what I'm doing here. Hey, I just enjoyed hanging out. What can I say? Sharkensaw says, yeah, I have to turn on Harry Potter to fall asleep and take my mind off the thing in particular. Speaking of, I always watch Harry Potter, all 8 of them, because I'm a fan. Every fall. I only got through the first 6 of them. I need to watch the final 2. Great movies, by the way. You don't have to give me super chats, but I appreciate it. Chance Nichols says, any chance on Archer? I know Silverfield talked to him. I've said this before. I believe that if Kane Archer is offered by Arkansas, he's going to be a Razorback. That's what I believe. I believe that if he gets offered, he's going to be a Razorback. Charlie says, good night, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful night. Hey, good night to you too. Yeah, I guess it is getting late here as well. Apparently need a doctorate since Sean went to school for 8 years. Listen, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't recommend it for anybody, but I wouldn't change it. I loved going to the University of Arkansas. It was a dream come true. I didn't want to go to any other college. My other family members all went to different colleges. But my dad went to university and I didn't want to go anywhere else. And it took me a while to get in. The only reason I got in, honestly, is because like I got a 31 on my ACT and my GPA was crap. So I got put on like immediately on the watch list. I wouldn't change it, man. I love my time at the U of A. I love being a Razorback. And I just enjoyed it, man. It was so much fun. Wouldn't change it for the world. Okay. I said, maybe this is going to be good for my ADHD, just to wear myself down with this. I start doing a stream every night. Oh, geez. J-Buck says, just think if we could get one guy like Sam Olajubutu, the defense would be dangerous. That dude, Olajubutu, very underrated. 5'9" linebacker, just knocked the crap out of guys. Love Sam Olajubutu. Great name. One of the greatest names. David says, we are still waiting for our Inside Arkansas members only 30 for 30 on Natty State Sports Saga. Shoe buddy. Like, yeah, that was, you talk about having to go down deep into some bad memories and some bad stuff that was going on. That's something I'd probably end up doing. Like it was it was the most roller coaster thing of my life because, we all know what we lost and everything, but it's like, I gave up a great thing in Little Rock. Like I was making more money with doing my radio show and podcast together. I had great hours. Like the Busleys told me they didn't want me to leave, but it was like one of those things that, I wanted to do. I wanted to be happy. I wanted to have something that was my own, and I had this vision. And it's unfortunate because it's like I learned a very hard lesson in all of it, is that, not everybody is going to be your friend. Not everybody you can trust. Not everybody's going to tell you the truth. And again, I had to learn the hard way. But, I'm very lucky for people in my life to help me out and to get me back to where I need to be. And it was just great. Like, I'm very thankful for it. But I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever get to that point and do a tell-all. I don't mind talking about it anymore. It was tough. But I think it's just because for my own sake. Because, I'm getting personal. I don't care. That was the darkest time of my life where I had a lot of sick thoughts. Like I had a lot of deep, dark thoughts. And I had some other things happen in my life too in that frame. I was in a bad spot, y'all. not that I'm not asking for sympathy, but it was just like I was in a very bad spot mentally. I couldn't sleep. I was one of those things where for a while there, I couldn't tell if I was dreaming or if I was awake. Like it was like that type of stuff. And I was just like, again, I feel like I was a different person because it was just hitting me so hard and I was having such horrible things. And I got some help and, I think I'm coming out of it. I think it's been great ever since. And I learned a lot about myself and a lot about my past and a lot about my behavior and everything. So, yeah, it's gone really well. And I feel like I'm feeling like I'm going the right direction. That's what it's always about, is moving the right direction is what it's about. Arkansas says, who's we, John? Did I say we? On what? I don't know what that, I got to remember back to which part you were referring to as. We've talked a lot about other things. So, Hawk says, did you watch the other three? Fantastic Beast. I watched the first one. I couldn't get into it as much because I don't know. It's like you grow up with the Harry Potter thing. So, yeah. King says, while we're having deep life combos, you ever figure out that thing you were actually testing? Yes, I did actually. Thank you. Yeah. I did figure it out. It was mainly some settings and some features that are on this streaming service that we use. So Arkansas says 31 is on ACT is solid, bro. Yeah, that's the thing is I wasn't stupid. I just didn't try. I just didn't I understood things. I just didn't apply them. I just wasn't motivated. I was a 260-pound fat kid that had no goals in life. That couldn't understand why I got friend zoned. It's like, yeah, because you're 260 pounds and you ate Doritos every day, and no girl wants that. So it's like, I had no self-confidence. I had no understanding. So I had to again, I was smart, I feel like, or at least I wasn't dumb. Maybe that's the way. I wasn't dumb, but I just needed to apply myself a little bit more. So, Kingsley says, what if I told you, Scotty voice? Yeah, that'd be great. Nick says, John, you had to live in Little Rock. I liked living in Little Rock, man. I really did. I had a great spot, man, in Hillcrest. I love that place. I miss it. And all my friends live in Little Rock too, and I miss them. I miss seeing them. They're all from Little Rock. That's okay. Let me tell you about my friend group, if they're watching or listening. All my friends I met at the U of A. All of them went to Little Rock Catholic. All of them went into civil engineering. All of them graduated with a civil engineering degree. All of them went to work for a place called Garver Engineering. And all of them live back in Little Rock, or at least almost all of them. That's a real thing. I'm like, y'all are weird. Y'all just stick together. It's the craziest thing. So anyways. It says, John, sports management major here. 100-year check is coming to a class of mine. We were allowed to ask a question related to his field since it is careers class. What should I ask? You don't want that. You don't want me to say that. Hey, shout out to you being a lax bro, though. I love lacrosse. Relating to his field, since it's a career class, I don't know. Because the questions I want to ask him, I would love to do a Joe Rogan style sit down with your check, and not in an attacking way. I just unedited, unfiltered, just, hey, here's a list of stuff that I think a lot of people just want to know about. So let's talk through this. But as far as a question goes, though, man, that's up to you, bro. I have no idea. I have no idea where to even begin on that. David says, it's a really strange dynamic in the United States because that Cal search really put you guys on the map. I know. And that's what I was just so thankful for. Yeah, we were on the map. We were actually getting credentialed during that stretch. We had a lot of good things going. And again, it was a dark time at the end of it, but I'm thankful for it because if it wasn't, I don't regret trying it. No, I don't have that regret. I would have done it again. Not with the person we did it with, but I would definitely do it again the right way. And yeah, it's something where you just got to mix the good with the bad. Take the best things of it and move forward with that too. Let's see. Yeah, because Dut Mac, I assume that's how you say your name. He's like, it's something that you can be thankful for in that situation, and everything give thanks. Very much so. Very much so. Sharkensaw says, I struggle with sleep paralysis for years. Yeah, dude, it's tough, man. It's tough. I know a lot of people that do struggle with it. It's not easy. Gavin says, did Arkansas ever play at Syracuse or Michigan in basketball, or was it just a Bud One Arena where they played them? They played at Michigan. That was a home and home. The Syracuse game was back when it was an SEC Big East Challenge. And I remember Jim Boeheim. I hate Jim Boeheim. He's like one of the sleaziest douchers. He was just complaining the whole time that he had to go down to Bud Walton Arena in Fayetteville. He's like, we should never do this. This is stupid. It's like, get over yourself. It's like you coaching for 30 years and you've been to like one Final Four. Shut up. Let's see. I'm parched. I need some more water here. Let's see. Baltimore Joe says, not an everyday guy for the show, but coming out of that situation for the positive shows great character. Well, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Again, you learn stuff about yourself. And I think the worst part about it was trying when I had to tell like my family to stay off social media, because there was people that were, and what I think the unfortunate thing is that there were people that I knew that were relishing so much in my failure. Like, it was weird. I get with like trolls, but like there were some people I actually thought I was cool with that relished in my failure and were just like talking crazy about it and kind of kicking me while I was down. And again, I don't forget. But it was again, learning experience that, because I always try to, we all try to do our best, but I try to do things right by people, because that's what helps me sleep at night. It's like I could, I could maybe make more money if I was being shady and weird and all that, but I don't know. I'd rather sleep well at night. I try to not have too much of an ego, but I also don't want to. I never want to be in a situation to where I feel like I'm wronging somebody. Never. Pam Hawk says, "How tall are you again?" Depends on which convenience store I'm leaving. No, I'm. I think last time I went to the doctor, I think they said I was either right at 5'11" or 5'11 and a quarter. So there's that. If you ever see me, though, I'm working on my posture. I have like posture correctors. So if you ever see me and you're like, hey, he's not 5'11", I was like, well, because I'm kind of slumped over a little bit. But yeah, for that. All that was nice intro into the night test, Johnny. What? All right. Cash says, as a non-religious person, I appreciate your attitude on everything. More religious people could take pointers. I'm behind on the live. Oh, okay. I was about to say, I was like, man, that was a while ago, but thank you. I appreciate it. MJ says, I keep coming back and you're still alive. Oh, hell yeah, man. I don't know why I am. It's like I keep scrolling down through the chats and I'm like, at some point down, I'm going to end at the very ending of it. And maybe that's when I finally end it. Because I don't know. My poor dog, he's probably like, why does he keep talking? He's trying to sleep. See, Black Neighbor says, I feel like you have an anti-Dorito bias. Well, if you've seen the pictures of me back when I was in high school, you can understand why I'm a little bit anti-Dorito. Although I love Doritos, but it's like I'm anti what it does to you if you eat a whole bag in one sitting. That's what it is. Peanut butter policy. It's a Kentucky fan, I assume. My daughter had a 31 and got accepted to Princeton. She didn't go. We're not rich yet because we're not rich yet, not poor enough. Oh, I see. Well, that stinks. Yeah, I don't think I would have gotten to Princeton because I still think a 2.3 GPA in high school is not going to do it. But it's unfortunate, but that's awesome that at least got accepted. I mean, I think the acceptance is that's something you could put on your resume is you at least got accepted to it. Coke or Pepsi? That's a stupid question. Coke. Red Bull or Monster? Red Bull, I guess. You're going to go with that. KSZ, and why does Trey Biddy absolutely despise basketball? I don't know. I didn't know he did. It's news to me. Samuel says, glad to have you up here in Fayetteville, John. Me too. It's my hometown, man. I'm not one of these that says I'm from Fayetteville, but I'm from like Bentonville, or I'm from Fayetteville, or I'm from Lincoln. No, it's like I'm from Fayetteville. I grew up off a crossover in Mission. Went to Butterfield Elementary, went to McNair Middle School, went to Woodland Junior High, went to Fayetteville High School. K through 12, public schools, baby. And yeah, it's like, and all the schools I went to are like getting brand new buildings that are not the same. But I really enjoy being back in Fayetteville. I wish it was back the way it was. There's too much traffic now, but it's, just what happens. But it's not the same place I grew up with. Still great though, just not the same place. Every time I go up to Bentonville Rogers, I feel like I'm in Dallas. I feel like I'm in just a different world. It's insane up there. Insane. You got to round that up, John. You're 6 foot on Tinder. Stop. I will say, just speaking of that, I don't know if I ever told this. I'm not going to out who it was. I got, there was a girl that I knew in Little Rock that she was on one of the dating apps, and she screenshotted and sent me there was a guy that was on that app that his main picture was a picture he took with me at an NCAA tournament game. That was like his main picture on his it was Hinge or Tinder or whatever. It was on his profile. I was like, man, come on. Like, don't do that. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to yourself. Because I promise you that's not going to score you any points with any chicks. I promise you that. But that was one of the funniest things. It was just funny because I just don't know. Like, you can tell me you don't have any better pictures than that. So, yeah. Nick says, John, I like you because you don't belittle us for not being multimillionaires, or as Tom Mars put it, didn't play college football. Don't listen to the haters. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't hate on y'all because I'm not a multimillionaire, so why would I hate on y'all? I don't hate on anybody. At least I have opinions on stuff. And maybe people I don't really care for, but I keep that to myself, or at least talk amongst my friends and make fun of them then. So, but yeah, no, I don't belittle anybody. At least that's not my intention. That's not what I want to do. I want to bring people together, and I want to respect everybody's opinion because I have some. And if you disagree with me, that's fine. If I disagree with you, that's fine. It's what makes life great. We're all different. Seth says, can you explain the backdrop components behind you? Now, this is a question I don't think I've ever been asked. Interesting. Sure, real quick. The JFK poster back here just says Johnny Politics. It's of him smoking up here. Probably, I don't know. I probably shouldn't have put this up because I don't know if it's very friendly. But I don't know. I just thought it was a funny flag. It was from the one of my first sponsors, the Rowdy Gentleman, when I ever got into media. And so they gave me a bunch of free stuff. So I always thought this flag was kind of cool. Arkansas State flag for obvious reasons. This right here, it was my SEC Media Days tab for Inside Arkansas, the first one. This one is a card. Make sure I get it right. It's a Razorback football player, Aaron Smith. And it was given to me by his family. And not even like, who's Aaron Smith? Well, I believe he's a walk-on for Arkansas. And it was just one of the nicest things ever because I was at a game and his dad, I think it was his dad, was like, coming on, he's like, hey man, I'm a big fan of yours. I love what you do. I just want to give you something. And he gave me that. And I was like, dude, you don't have to do this. But he's like, no, I want you to have it. And so it was just really nice. So I was like, I hung it up. I got the Saturday for the boys flag down here. You can't really see, but it's just an old stupid flag. My dog Rowdy, it was painted by an ex-girlfriend of mine. Darren McFadden signed Darren McFadden Sports Illustrated cover, one of the few ones that's there. I've got my pointers all wrong here. Is the no-fly zone. Hudson Clark, his fiance, now wife, gave it to me when she came by our tailgate. So I had to wear that. My boy Peyton Stovall got shit. They all would come by our tailgate, and I got one of those buttons. Like, dude, I gotta have one of those stove. Hogs by 90 is obvious. Clothing optional beyond this point because it's just a fact. This is an Orange Bowl deal right here. This is my dad's. He got it from the Orange Bowl originally in 1978. This is a little Razorback flag. This is a little flag over here. My backdrop got thrown together the last minute. It's going to be much better when I move into my next place. So, and this is the beer bat from Omaha or from the Razorback games. The beer hats for Razorback baseball games. This is the game hat I got from a Locked On sponsorship. So, yeah, just random stuff. It's going to be a lot better though. Mark says, I just want to say, John, you're the absolute best. 30 minutes ago, you said it would be 10 in the industry and you're still going dry. Yeah, I know. I'm stupid. I don't know what I'm doing here. I am new. What happened with the whole Natty State sports thing? Wow. Well, okay. Well, we're gonna have to go into that at some other time, man. There's a lot to it, but it was the first. It was basically this what we're doing now, done the first time around. I still miss that logo. I don't know if anybody else cared about it, but I still miss that logo. I love that logo. Created it myself. Created the logo myself. Created the name myself. Created the format myself. I was really proud of that. Really proud of that. Woodland Cowboys, baby. Yeah, which I guess they're not Cowboys anymore. All right. Man. Those band geeks don't have no clue what's going on, but like and subscribe. I don't have any clue what's going on either anymore, man. Samuel says, do you have a PS5 or Xbox for this stream? PS5. That's what I have. When did you graduate from FHS? Was it like 06 or 07? It was 07. 2007. Yeah. I'm old. Coming up on a 20-year reunion. I went to my 10-year reunion. A lot of people who went to Fayetteville High School with me still live in Fayetteville. It's crazy. I'm not close with really any of them. Like best friends. Like I'm cool with them. It just wasn't. I guess the people I see the most is like Cameron Housley, now Sutton. Still good friends with her. My old friend Trey Ashcraft. I talk to him every so often. I know he's doing good. Jake Arnold. If I see him out about, it's always good to see him. So just a few that from my class then. But yeah, Fayetteville was great, man. Fayetteville was great. I was the off-campus lunch was wild. Off-campus lunch was wild. David says we need the eviction story, John. No, I don't. That was tough, man. It was tough just finding that out. It was like, oh, apparently you needed to. Who would have guessed that you needed to stop traffic? But apparently, if you don't pay your rent, you can't stay. Shocking, I know. But that's really what happened about it. And that's when I started. There's a lot of things I started seeing there at the end that was like, I ain't down with this. And like I said, I had to get out of it as quickly as possible. Inside Arkansas is a way better name. No, I mean, it is. It's not that it's. The reason I wanted it at Natty State is because I had this vision of, it was the natural state, but I wanted it to be more of a sports with culture. And I wanted it to kind of stand out a little bit to where it was like a fun way of doing it. And then it could go from Natty State sports into Natty State outdoors to Natty State food and Natty State business to Natty State whatever, preps, Natty State everything. And I can do that. And I'm going to kind of do that with Inside Arkansas. But that was just, I just wanted something that I could brand really easily that would stand out. But, is what it is. Baltimore Joe says, do you have any favorite people to work with on Locked On Network? I mean, I'm friends with all of them. They're cool with all of them. We all live our own lives, though. Gordy's my guy. I've been going with Chris Gordy, Locked On SEC for a long time. Been going to SEC Media Days with him. Zach Blackerby of Locked On Auburn's awesome. I mean, I like all of them. It's just, I'm trying to think of the ones I've actually had hanging out with and been around in person. A lot of them I haven't. Moscona, of course, Matt Moscona of Locked On LSU. He's awesome. He's one of my good friends. He's the one that gave me the Silverfield scoop. That's why I really believed it, because I'm like, Matt Moscona's not going to give me this unless it's true. So, Bama Hog says, me too, John, graduated in 06 from Fayetteville High School. Did you really? Or is he just saying from 06? Oh. Nick says, went to law school with Cameron. Hey, how about that? Yeah. Cameron's awesome. She's one of my favorite people. And she has been always so cool. Even in my fat stage in high school, even now, she's still the same person. So Cameron's the best. And her sister, the whole family's great. This is my nephew, Clayton. He's a streamer now. Haha. I wonder if this is my nephew. My nephew's name is Clayton Peters. So it's not, you need to be, man. How about that? Class of 07 here, Bentonville. Class of 07. I'm trying to think if I knew anybody from Bentonville in 07. Probably not. Oof, 2020 Rogers Heritage. Okay, chill out. Relax. Know your current eviction story, dude. I thought you were talking about Natty State. My current eviction story. That's funny. Why did I think of that? I'm not getting evicted. It's not an eviction story. I'm just, my landlord is needing to move into this place, and I think they're having some structural issues with the buildings around here. And instead of me living here, if something goes wrong, they're going to move in here and get it fixed. And then lease it out again. So it's not me being evicted. It's just more of like for my own safety. I'm getting out. So thank you. Kelku said Trey Hashcraft. I'm gonna have to text him. That's crazy if you know Trey. Yeah. Me and Trey were roommates for 3 years in Fayetteville. One of my best friends from high school. Awesome dude. Love Trey. Gavin says, you ever miss being at the Buzz? Yeah, I love being at the Buzz, man. The Buzz is the best and greatest radio station in the state of Arkansas, and it's there for a reason. And there's something to be said, which I wouldn't say I was intimidated, but it was just maybe I felt like it was tough sometimes to find my footing there because everybody had been there for so long. And I mean, everybody, the salespeople, the management, everybody had been there for so long. So it's like, I was there for 4 years, which I feel like is a good long while. But like when I walked in there, the least tenured person was like 12. So it was just, I was a younger generation. I was a younger person, but it was cool to be able to like be around legends. Like that was a really cool experience. Like Tommy Smith, a legend. Randy Rainwater, a legend. David Basil, legend. Roger Scott, legend. Even Justin Acree, maybe a little bit of a legend. I'm just messing with the Acree, but no, it was a really cool experience, and I was so thankful for it. Like that, because that was my job. That was my dream job, is to work for the Buzz. It's what I wanted to do when I first got into radio. It's where I always wanted to be. And when I didn't get the job the first couple of times, I kept just saying, I was like, hey man, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to prove you wrong. But I love doing it, and it was a lot of fun. So, what's your favorite Inside Arkansas memory so far? Oh, going to Lexington and Arkansas beating Kentucky by far. Like that was the most fun ever because like all three of us were able to go, me, Curtis, and Andrew. We had a really cool Airbnb that was right there. Like going into it, everyone knew who we were. Like all the death threats that I got going into it, like it was such a big deal. We got to do the shows right there in the Lions Den at Kentucky Sports or KS Bar, which was awesome. Shout out to Matt Jones. You know, a lot of people don't like him, but he's a good dude. That was the most fun, is because we got to do all of that, and everybody was really welcoming. Everybody was really nice. And then to actually get the win in what was without question one of the biggest games that a lot of people have gone to, that's pretty sweet. So yeah, that is by far the one. Let's see. How did Matt Moscona have the scoop on Ryan Silverfield before anybody else? Because he has great connections with agents. Yeah, and the agents told him about it, which told me about it. So just need to start believing in Matt Moscona. If he starts texting me, I'm like, all right, I gotta remember that. All right, everyone's giving their graduation years. That's great. Man. Samuel G. General Brooks says, who's the voice that says Inside Arkansas Live? Her name is Jessica Lewis. She does voice imaging because that's my radio background. I wanted to find somebody that does did a voice that's different from all of ours. And we have female voices as far as our interns, and intern Reagan, she does a great job, but I wanted to have a female voice just to kind of stand apart. And I thought she did a good job. I thought she just had a good voice for what we were trying to do and trying to, kind of nothing too crazy, but pretty basic. But yeah, she's just a voice person that I send stuff to, and she sends it back, and I pay her for it. That's usually how it works. And who sings the new intro? I assume it's our guy Gibb that made it. And by the way, I saw people saying about this. I did not ask. None of us asked for that to be made. It wasn't even a thing where our guy Gibb said, hey, can I make you an intro? And I'm like, oh yeah, sure. That intro just showed up one day in my email. It's like, hey, it was a long list. He's like, my name's Gibb. I made this for you. And I'll admit, I was a little bit like worried. But I listened to it. I'm like, it's actually like pretty good. It's really good. So shout out to Gibb. Did it on his own just because he enjoys us, which is such a nice thing to do. Like, again, I'm always so flattered by stuff like that, where it's like, you just do it because you enjoy our content. Like that's the most honored thing that we could ever have. Let's see. Nick says, Matt Jones is a good guy. How did you meet Curtis and Andrew? So Curtis I met because when I would go to the NCAA tournament and cover it during the days of the Buzz, Curtis would always be there as well. Curtis and Scotty. And it was Curtis, Scotty, and Bob. Rest in peace, Bob. We miss you. So when we get there, we wouldn't know anybody. So we just hang out because we're all kind of the same. We're going to do the same stuff. We're going to be at the same press conferences. So let's just hang out, and became friends with them that way. And Andrew, of course, if you ever heard the Andrew story, apparently he introduced himself to me like when he was just a kid or young and he wasn't in the industry, and he was like telling me how big of a fan he was of mine and stuff. And I was like, hey man, thanks and all that. And then later he got into the industry, and then he brought that story up, and I was like, man, I'm sorry. I just don't remember you introducing yourself to me like that, which I felt bad for. But at the same time, it's like, it's just one of those things. So apparently I met Andrew back then, but when I really met Andrew, and what I really liked about him is this is the main thing why I knew I wanted to work with these guys, obviously because they're good dudes and really hardworking. But I remember every time when basketball season would happen, I had Curtis on my radio show, and he was just great, sounding good on the air because I'm big on the presentation, looking good, sounding good. So I had that, and then trying to think. Yes, yeah, for Andrew, it would be baseball. I'd have him on for baseball season. He was great at it. He just sounded so good on the air. And so I knew that these guys were really good at what they do. They had a passion for it. They sounded good. They were fun to talk with, and they're good at what they did. So, oh man, Newsband Geeks, what is the one thing you want to do the most with Inside Arkansas that you aren't currently? Great question. I think maybe I would like to have like a dedicated studio. I mean, I don't mind doing it out of our homes. It makes it easy and affordable. But I'm always about. I want to try to make it into something. And again, if we go into an office space, we'll pay for it. But I think having like an actual like office, it'd be something, and that'd be big. I need a graphic designer, someone that can do all of our graphics and stuff pretty consistently. Production person, video editing, all of that. I don't know. That's a good question. I want to upgrade my equipment video wise overall, because I think it'd also be easier if all three of us were together doing a show instead of just like at each other's homes where we get distracted with other stuff. So it'd be different. Let's see. Just guys being dudes. That's right. David says renting the old studio back would be the greatest middle finger. Yeah, that was the coolest spot ever, man. I don't think I'd be paying that. I don't think I'm going to pay that rent, though. The rent was way too much. Which is probably why I wasn't paid. But it was an awesome spot because there's not many spots like that in Fayetteville. Well, thank you, Wolt, if you're there. Give, that intro you made for Inside Arkansas was fire. Yeah, Give did a great job, man. I couldn't believe how great it was. And it's, I remember Curtis and Andrew, we all have like our own quirks, but I remember when like there's a lot of things that I do, I know like they're very suspect on, and they're like, I don't know about this. That's one of those things where I'm proud of it because I stuck with it, and the intro grew on them, and it grew on everybody because I'm like, I just know it's gonna catch on. So I'm glad it worked out. But yeah, he's done a great job. Terranic Celtic says your beard always looks perfect. What's your secret? Does it? I feel like it always looks like crap. I feel like I'm always doing a great job. My secret is I have this beard trimmer. Do a 2-guard, do that, and then shaving cream with a razor and shave. Man, that's it. That's it. I know I'm getting gray in the beard. I think you're able to see it now with the this new camera. So I was trying to I get always accused of doing like things to my physical appearance. Like someone was saying I had hair plugs. Like, if you think I had hair plugs, don't you think I'd like move the hair down a little bit, to not have the receding hairline? But it's fine. It just cracks me up. James says Andrew's internet would have no excuse to crash out if you had a studio. Yeah, I know. That's been a hot point of contention, but you're right, though. You're right. Let's see. Hey, John, I have the glove that broke Arkansas's receiving record from Kobe Hamilton. South Carolina, I got him to sign it. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Love that. Ever think about covering the Arkansas Diamonds or the Travelers? I mean, no. Should I know who the Arkansas Diamonds are? I know who the Travelers are. Who are the Diamonds? I feel like I'm going to get yelled at. Arkansas Diamonds. Is that like a soccer team or something? I don't know. I know the Travelers. But no, it's just not. I'm it's tough to cover multiple things. Like it's tough enough as struggling or covering all of the things Razorbacks. So Kingsley says, I'd love more behind the scenes from y'all, travel vlogs, outtakes, etc. Yes, that's a great point. That's a great point. I would love to do that too. There's so many things I want to do like that. It's just, me personally, I just don't have the time. I would love to do stuff like that. I love like behind the scenes, selfie sticking in. Wow, that sounded weird, but you know what I mean? Like because I got the equipment to do it. I think it was fun when I interviewed those students that were lining up for the student section before the Kansas exhibition game a year ago. And they were all like trashing Kentucky fans because I could told them a lot of them were kind of lit, but I was like, hey, you can say whatever you want. You can cuss or whatever. They're like, really? And they started kind of feeling a little bit because that opens them up a little bit. So it was pretty fun. So I'd love to do stuff like that, man. And, I think we need to do a better job of that, especially traveling. But it's so busy sometimes. It's just so busy. Kelku says, shaving and hair plugs are the most unexpected pillow talk ever. Yeah. This whole stream has been unexpected. So Baltimore Joe says the arena football in Hot Springs. I'm not a fan of Hot Springs. Just city's great, but just not a fan. It's bad memories there. Brendan Wood says, rather than making our brains smooth, John adds brain cells. Do I? Do I do that? I don't know if I do. But thank you, though. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Folks, I think I'm going to have to finally call it. This was stupid, but fun. I enjoyed it. I really did. It's been over 2.5 hours. If this doesn't show you how little of a life that I have outside of this this thing called Inside Arkansas, I don't know what to tell you. But thank you all so much. Seriously. I was just trying to test some things. And the test is a pass. So, man, that's awesome. Like I said, I love doing it. I love being able to interact and hang out and all that great stuff. I don't know. Because Kingley, I want to do it again. And again, Sunday nights just feel like the night to do them because every other day of the week there might be a game and there's always a chance of it. Saturdays are busy. But Sunday night, there's never anything that's going to happen Razorback related. So I don't know. I may do that as well. I don't know. Logan said, how was your date the other week? Thank you, Logan. It went fine. Thank you. Went fine. Who's your dream girlfriend? See, as soon as I start trying to get out of here, these are the reasons why. Like, what does that mean, dream girlfriend? Sydney Sweeney? Like, is that what you're asking? I mean, I'd like to take her out to the Olive Garden. Go get some Andes afterwards. I mean, who would say no? Who could turn that down? I do find it so funny how many of you are not fascinated, but just like bring up my love life. It's funny. Like it doesn't bother me. It's just funny. My love life is just funny. Yeah, the microblade person apparently who was just begging for me to marry them in the chat earlier. I mean, I can't believe I said no to that, right? Yeah. Sydney Sweeney, known Olive Garden lover. I mean, you tell me she doesn't love Olive Garden. Let's see. Samuel says, John, when's the next Inside Arkansas road trip? Is it the Houston basketball trip? Who all is going? Well, we're all going to be at the Texas Tech game in Dallas, but we're all not going to be together driving down. Because I mean, it's just tough, with Curtis and then his new kid. We gotta. We're always trying to make sure everyone's schedule can line up and get it done, but it's not a bad thing. I mean, it's just life. So I think we're all going to Norman for the basketball game when they play Oklahoma. Like I think we may try to go to Auburn again because we had so much fun last time. For basketball. Of course, I'm talking about basketball. But I think that's all it is. We may end up going, we're going to go to the NCAA tournament and everything, for sure. For sure. Kevin says, how do you all know about his date? Yeah, okay, so I got to bring this up because I think Curtis is the one that outed me on this thing. Like, something happened in the Discord, and I put because when I'm out and about, if I'm on one of these things, I put my phone on do not disturb, so I don't see anything. I'm trying to not be distracted, and as soon as I am going home, I'm just blown up with stuff and tagged in Discord, and then I see Curtis saying, "Hey, just to let you know, I may have told everybody you were on a date." I was like, "Great, thank you." So I assume that's the one that they are talking about. So I've always thought you were an absolute hammer. All right. Oh, man. James says, Cindy Sweeney will only be with you for that locked on money. She ain't worth it. Man, she can lock on me anytime. Baltimore Joe, you only have one place to eat forever. Where would it be? That's tough. It's tough. Have to be a place with variety. Sonic. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. This is wild. Drop the Discord link in the chat. I don't think I can. When is the Norman game? I don't know. I'll just be honest. You can go look up the Razorback basketball schedule. But check it out. Yeah. So I can't believe all this stuff, man. Some of the questions you're talking about. What's your Sonic drink order? Coke Zero? The only thing I drink really is Coke Zero or Sprite Zero. I don't know if I want caffeine or not. I usually drink Sprite Zero at home. When I go out, I drink Coke Zero, when I'm feeling crazy. So. Hawkshaw said, am I intoxicated? No, I'm not intoxicated. I've been on here for 3 hours. Talking nonstop. No, I'm not intoxicated. I got to end this stream, folks. If not, I'm just going to keep going because y'all are distracting me. But either way, thank you so much for watching. I don't know why y'all did, but thank you. It was great hanging out. We'll do this again sometime. Hopefully it won't be, 3 hours long. But be sure to subscribe to Inside Arkansas on YouTube, on social media. You can check us out. We'll be back here Inside Arkansas live tomorrow at noon. We got Locked On Razorbacks going out tomorrow morning. We got Inside Arkansas recruiting going back with Dudley talking about the latest commitments. I got the Pot at the Palace going out as well. So we got a lot of great content here and everything's going on. So let's get after it. Let's have us a night and a morning. Appreciate all of you. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll see you tomorrow.